Like, but Ilya, that just makes me want to say his name. I wasn't planning on it, Ilya, but that makes me really want to say it. But I'm going to try not to. And I don't really care. You can post it to Jerusalem. You cannot. I don't. This is for all the people who wanted this. People have been asking me to do this. So I doubt the people that are in Jerusalem that don't already know about it care. Yeah, right there. But anyways, do have some shit to talk about. But I want to wait until more people come. So in the meantime, I'm just going to talk about the upcoming UFC events because there's nothing this week. But UFC 287, it's I don't want to say it's a good card, but it's not a bad card. It's way better than last week's. Holy shit. But that was a fight night, so you can't really compare. But this goes without saying. If you're picking Izzy Adesanya, if you're picking him, whatever. If you're betting on Izzy Adesanya to win, you are a flat-out retard. I said this about the Leon Kamaru fight. I said this about Jon Jones. And for the same exact reasons, literally the same exact reasons, I'm picking Poatan over Izzy. And what those reasons are is if you look at Cyril Gane, if you look at, some person who's here under a fake name because they're afraid that Musical's gonna ban them. How's it going? I'm not gonna out you, but I know you're one of a few people. Really sad that you think that you have to do that. Like, why would you even want to be a part of a group that's gonna ban you for watching a stream? Like, I don't know. I think Musical's a piece of shit. Like, I was trying to be cordial to Musical for a while. Fuck that guy. Honestly, like, I just feel bad for his kid, to be honest. Like, he is a horrific fucking parent. So that's all I gotta say about that. But anyways, back to Pereira. So the reason why, I believe Izzy Adesanya has a much better chance of beating Pereira than Leon had, or than Kamaru had of beating Leon. I cannot believe how fucking huge of an underdog Leon was. As the fight was getting closer and closer, like as each fight was, am I aware of the situation? I don't know what you're referring to. So I guess no. If you're talking about anything regarding Jerusalem, I don't know anything. Like, I haven't been involved with you guys in a while. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. I do believe Izzy has a much better chance of beating Poatan than Kamaru had of beating Leon, or Cyril had of beating Jon. However, it's the same exact concept that I applied to those fights that I'm applying to these fights. Look at Cyril Gane. Look at all the fights he's won. All the fights he's won. What is his one biggest strength? It's his physical attributes, and he uses his length very, very well. Look at Kamaru Usman. What's his biggest strength? It's his physical attributes. And then look at Izzy Adesanya. What's his biggest strength? It's his physical attributes. Now, Gane met his physical match in Jones, not his match, his physical superior in Jones, and look what happened. Kamaru met his physical superior in Leon. Look what happened. Izzy met his physical superior 3 times previous with Pereira. Look what happened. Izzy needs his length. He needs his speed and his length to do well. He's got speed in this matchup, but he doesn't have the length, and he's just, for 5 rounds, he's not going to fucking be able to avoid Pereira. Rigo's losing it? Okay, I don't care about Rigo. Rigo Soy Raging is a good classic bro, lying like a motherfucker. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but I don't care about Rigo. Like, if you legitimately have a beef with Rigo, then there might be something wrong with it. Like, I love shitting on Rigo, don't get me wrong. Anytime, like, I don't think I'm subscribed to him anymore, but every once in a while, YouTube will recommend a Rigo stream to me, and if it ever does, like, I'll pop in for like 30 seconds just to make a joke about his skinny neck, and that's it. but like there's no animosity there. Like whenever Rigo is confronted with any sort of like violence or confrontation, like that's just not his thing, which is weird that he likes MMA. And it's weird that he starts so much shit, but at the same, like he's not, I don't know, man. Like he's a harmless fly on the wall, you know? Like, I don't know. He's nothing. He's nothing to me. I'm happy for his channel though. I think he's a piece of shit, but I'm happy that his channel has been growing. Like that is really cool that people have been able to cling on to Guru's dingleberries and fucking, as Guru's fucking rocketed up in his wheelchair into the fucking stratosphere with all the views. You should see him now, complete 180. He's a tough guy now. There's no way anyone would ever mistake Rigo for a tough guy. Like I don't know how tall he is. He doesn't look, I doubt he's taller than me. He doesn't look like he's very tall, but he's definitely smaller than me. And that's saying something because I'm not very big. So like if you have any beef with, like, I don't know, maybe he's a tough guy. Like I guess I literally have never watched a stream of his. I never really watched anything of his since I left Jerusalem. Piper, GM3. Piper. I'm going to go Piper there. GM3 is definitely a live dog. I think he's a live dog in almost all his matchups because he's almost invariably the dog. But Piper's pretty good. I think it's a good, solid test to see where Piper stacks up in the division. But I'm going to go Piper. Is Lake Wallace still cold enough for plunges this time of year? Yes, it is. I just went yesterday. I used to go just whenever the conditions were good. And good conditions just means not windy. But since this December, instead of doing that, I go every Monday and every Wednesday, no matter what. It doesn't matter if there's ice, if there's like a thin layer of ice, I have to fucking punch through it, or if it's windy as well. Yesterday it was like 30 miles per hour winds. And then to today, sunny, not windy at all. Tuesday, sunny, not windy at all. But I go Monday and Wednesday every single time because those are the days I work out. So Mondays I'll Larry says hi. Mondays I will do that, and then I'll do a ruck. And then Wednesdays I'll do a plunge, and then I do my strength training. So yeah, it is still cold enough now, but I probably got like another. It depends. Like every year is different. Ohio's incredibly variable, but I've got roughly another month where it's still cold enough for me to do it. And in years past, I would take advantage of that, and I would go like every single day in April just so I can get as many ice baths in. But since I've learned that it's not good to do ice baths or cold plunges when you're trying to build muscle, like after you've worked out, that's why I'm only going to do it Monday, Wednesday, no matter what. And then I'll probably just end up getting some ice cubes and shit to do it in the summer cold times too. What's going on in East Palestine since the last stream? Oh my God. Oh, that's a good question. Well, I can't speak. I'm 90 miles northwest. Thank God I'm northwest of it and not northeast of it. The entire fucking state of Pennsylvania and probably New York City, like that entire area is just fucked. It's fucked. But I'll say this, about a week after that, all that went down, I went for a run. It was like a 20-minute run. Like I was not outside long at all. And when I came back, I could barely breathe, and I was itchy all over, and I could tell like I should not ever fucking work out outside ever again, or at least for the time being. But it's bad. I know it's really fucking bad. Like people who live like in there, they're fucked. I did watch a documentary on it not that long ago. It's actually just depressing. I really wouldn't recommend. I wouldn't recommend watching it. But the amount of damage they did, like it's affecting me. Like people. So basically, where that explosion took place, it's right by a creek that feeds into the Ohio River. And I'm assuming it's all the way down to Louisiana now, but I know for a fact that people in Louisville and I think Memphis is the other city, but like Louisville and I think Memphis, two cities that are on the Ohio and Mississippi River, their water quality is fucked. And my water quality is fucked too. I had issues with it, Larry and shit, and hold on. Speaking of Larry, there you go, buddy. But yeah, I literally I can't even take a warmish shower anymore. Like it has to be a cold shower, which I was taking pretty cold showers anyways. But when after I work out and like I'm still kind of cold, and when I work out after the cold plunge, I do it in my trunks that are still cold, so to make sure that my body's as cold as possible, so I can get as many repetitions as possible. Do I think Guru's gonna stream today? How would I, dude? I haven't watched a Guru stream. I don't know. I've come in here and there, but I haven't watched a Guru, like an actual full-fledged Guru stream since before Musical kicked me out. There's going to be tons of people messaging him that Musical/Rigo doxed him. Well, Musical did dox him. Musical likes to say that I doxed him, but Musical is the one that doxed him. And you, Ilya. And you, Ilya. And Polidori's Revenge. You guys are the ones that doxed him. Rigo wasn't involved in that original doxing, but yeah. Do I like beans on avocado? Never tried it, but no. I'm not a beans guy. They don't do well with my stomach at all. Beans and especially lentils, but all legumes, not all of them, most of them. There are a few exceptions that are decent with my digestive system. And my digestion has gotten a hell of a lot better, something I want to mention at some point. Something I've been doing that's greatly reduced my shitting issues, I guess. Do you know who I am? No. How would I know who you are, Raisinator? No, I don't know who you are. Well, my profile pic. I can barely see it. Honestly, like the sun's coming in, so I can barely see it. So I don't know who you are. I'm assuming once again you're on alts because you're afraid Musical's gonna kick you out. Once again, why would you want to be in a fucking what's it called? In a group like that? Like you can't even watch another stream. I got allegedly 2 viewers right now. I can imagine why. What was I saying? Okay, so let's talk about since you brought up fucking beans. The last like 9 weeks or so, I've been fasting every day. Not every day, that'd be insane. One day every week, I will do a 24-hour fast. And what that looks like is I never go a day without eating, but I will go 24 hours without eating, if that makes sense. So I will go, tomorrow I'm going to do it. So I will eat a shitload, and I will do and I'll smoke my weed earlier that day too. Because for the fast, I will consume nothing but water. And sometimes I don't even consume water. But like I'll go until like 7 p.m. and just eat and smoke a shitload. And then I won't eat or consume anything but water until the next 7 p.m. And then I'll eat a lot for dinner. And giving your digestive system just that 24-hour break, my shits have been so much better lately. My digestion is so much better. My ability to tolerate, I don't really know I haven't tested out the beans things, but the last like 5 or 6 years, my body has not been able to tolerate eggs. And since I started doing this, it's still not great with eggs, but it's 100% better than it used to be. And I can actually eat them again. I have more leeway with what I can eat without incredible shitting issues. And the science behind it, I think, is really simple. We all view ourselves as like one singular entity, but that's not true. There's literally trillions of cells, trillions of living things that constitute our bodies. And if you think about all the cells and all the little microorganisms that are in your gut, they're literally factory workers. And if you never give yourself time to not eat, not to consume anything, this is a factory worker going 24/7, nonstop. You're grinding their ass to the fucking bones, you know? And just giving them just a small time period just to not do anything, just recover. It's so it's mentally, it's beneficial. I find that I'm a little bit sharper now than I used to be. Physically, it's beneficial. I was afraid that I might lose weight doing this. If anything, I've gained weight. Like, look at these things, baby. I have not lost weight at all. My neck is like 10 times the size of Rigo's, and it's still very skinny. But yeah, I feel that, and I'm actually eating a little bit less food on my other 6 days that are just normal days, because my body is absorbing more of the nutrients, I've noticed. Whereas before, it felt like I would eat and eat and eat and eat and eat, and my body would just absorb like 10, 20% of the nutrients that were coming in. Where now it feels like it's at least double or maybe even triple that. So I don't have to eat as much, but I'm gaining more weight because I'm absorbing more nutrients. So I definitely recommend doing that. How's Larry been, dude? Larry's been awesome, man. He's taking a poopy or a pee-pee right now. But he's been great, man. He's my boy. He's my best friend for sure. Darling boy. What's Darling boy? What's up, Washington? How's it going, brother? Hold on, brother. I'm just catching up. Wait, Sir Mykionis, the point you made about the number of entertaining moments per period of time have decreased as time has gone on. Oh, with Guru? Are you talking about Guru? Yeah, the like the last per minute, or the entertaining moments per minute with Guru. Yeah, I that's why I stopped watching Guru. It's not a okay there, Barry. Good job, Bubby. I don't know why every cat, like, they get, like, once they bury their poop or their pee-pee, it's like they have to keep doing it, and then they unbury it, and then they rebury it and unbury it. There, Bear. You're good. You covered it. You're so stupid. But yeah, so like, it makes sense. Like, obviously the amount of funny things that Guru can even say that his channel gets bigger. Like, it's just a natural progression of things, which is why I stopped watching him. Well, one of the reasons. There's a lot of reasons why I stopped watching him. And then now, there's no point in me like watching any like Jerusalem-based streams. The only one I'm a regular in still is Toast, because Toasts are a little bit different, because they're pre what's it called? Oh, he's taking a big shit. And he's staring at me right in the eyes. Hi, baby. Good job. Oh, I kind of want to turn the camera so you guys can see, but I also want to give him some privacy. God damn. There, Bear. Oh, no. Hold on, guys. Hold on. It dropped out of his butt, not on. Okay, there, I got it. Sorry, stream. This will only take a second. I know, Larry. It's your poopy. Oh, God, Bubby. Okay. All right. Oh, my God. It smells horrible. Okay, so he pooped, and then when he got out, a little nugget fell out, so I had to put it back in and bury it so it doesn't smell too bad. It's the joy of having a fluffy kitty. What was I saying? Yeah, I don't really want to shit on Guru, or like, there's just no point for me watching their streams, because I'm not a part of the community anymore. And like I tried, I forgot when, it wasn't that long ago. I tried, on when musical streams, like it showed up, and I just for a second I went on, and then I tried to just like bury the hatchet, be nice or whatever, and he fucking banned me. Like, what the fuck? He fucking banned me. So so I think that's pretty soy, but yeah. So I feel like if I go anywhere, I'm just gonna get banned, even though I've literally done nothing wrong. Saying Guru's name is not a crime, especially since I'm not the one who figured it out. Especially since I'm like, I just think I don't want to go too deep in music. Like, there's no point in beefing with these people. Like, literally, musical, Rigo, fucking all, like, I would It's stupid to even say this, but it's true. Like, I would fucking murder them in real life. And that's not saying I'm a badass. No, quite the opposite. They're just that weak. So it's like there's no point in even. Larry, it's okay, buddy. I know. But anyways, I want to talk about the interesting moment, the very, very interesting moment. The reason why I bet, and I bet big for me, on Alexa Grasso. The curious case of Alexa Grasso. So, flashback a few weeks before Alexa fought Valentina. It was the walkouts of Josh Emmett versus Yair Rodriguez. Now, I had picked Josh Emmett. I picked him in Tapology, and I had a small bet on him. And I wasn't confident. He was. I just thought that it was a 50-50 fight, and he was the underdog, and I was like, I could see him winning. And then they're walking out. Yair's walking out. And as he's walking out, I have a really strange epiphany / realization. Where I go, what the fuck am I doing? There's already 2 Mexican champions in the UFC. They're gonna want a third one. What am I fucking doing? And when I thought that, I was thinking of Brandon Moreno. And in my mind's eye, I had Alexa Grasso in my head. I didn't not verbally, but like I didn't mentally in English in a thought say Alexa Grasso. I just saw her face, and I didn't even think about Valentina Shevchenko. It was like this. It was the feels like of Alexa Grasso being champion, and I was like, oh shit. And so I hedged my bet, and I bet like 3 times as much on Yair. I think he was like minus 160 or some shit. 170. I was like, oh no, Yair's gonna win 100%. I don't know why I didn't see this earlier. And then Yair won, and then flash forward a couple weeks later, and I didn't think anything of it. Like in my head, Alexa Grasso was already the featherweight champion. I did not question it at all, even though she was not. She was not, and I didn't even think that she had a fight coming up. Like it was just a strange. I want to say brain fart, but it wasn't a brain fart because I was literally getting information from the future. But anyways, flash forward a few weeks. It was like a few days before that fight, and I look and I'm like, what the fuck? How is Alexa Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko? Like, I was like, I thought Grasso was champion. I thought she was flyweight champion. How the fuck is this possible? And I'm racking my mind. I'm like, is there another Mexican champion? Like, is it like, what is going on? It literally took me about an hour to figure out that I'm the only way. Well, there's only 2 logical explanations for what happened. A, I'm just getting old and it was a brain fart, possible. But B, and this is what it felt like that my brain was gathering information from the future. Because like I said, when I saw Yair walking out, like I saw so clearly the 3 Mexican champions, so fucking clearly. It was like just super vivid. And so I was very on the border. Even though I had this thought, I was like, okay, I probably got this information from the future, and Alexa might actually win. And before, like pretty close before the fight, FanDuel gave a 50% bonus option. Hey, baby, say hi to stream, little guy. Hey, say hi. It's okay, buddy. He's not used to me streaming. So FanDuel gave a 50% bonus. So they went from plus 660. So I upped her thing from plus, I think, 660 to plus 990 and cashed that. But it was only because it was literally the only reason was because of that moment a few weeks prior. It had nothing to do with me thinking that Alexa is a better fighter. And I'll say this too. So after I put that bet in, I was super invested in the fight. Before I like Valentina, but I didn't really care that much. And I like Alexa Grasso, but it's women's MMA, you know. Like you can only get so excited unless you have money on it. But now I have money on it. Now I have a chance to win $100. So now I'm invested. And on the walk, like I'm keenly looking. I'm really looking to see, like to read Valentina and see if there's any sort of like tell that she might throw this fight. And I swear to God, on her walkout, she looked a little bit different. I wouldn't bet my life, but I would bet a lot of money that Valentina threw that fight. on that walkout, I'm thinking, okay, like I was assured, I thought that I made like a pretty big not big mistake, but a pretty risky play in betting on Alexa Grasso. But after Valentina's walkout, I felt very reassured. Like there was something different about her. And then flash forward to the 4th round of the fight. You cannot tell me that Valentina tried to get it. First off, that Valentina defended that choke as best as she could. And she gave up that fight. Rear naked chokes in general, a lot of times are a little suspicious. I think a lot of times it's just a fighter is getting their ass kicked and it's just the easy way out. Chael Sonnen has talked about it a lot and he's right. He says like 90% of the time. I don't think it's quite 90%, but over 50% of the time, I've noticed rear naked chokes many, many times. It's just the fighter getting choked out, just giving up. He's like, fuck it. This is my way out. It's easy. It's painless. Let's fucking do it. Yeah, so I'm pretty confident that Valentina threw that fight. That being said, Alexa Grasso was piecing her up. She was piecing her up in that fight. The only reason why Valentina was winning that fight was for the grappling. So in the rematch, I might actually take Alexa Grasso. I might actually do it. Let's see. I think Anshul Jubilee is the next big thing? No. Wait, he fought Jekka, right? He fought Jekka in the last one. He looked good. But I wouldn't call him the next big thing. That's crazy. Are you talking about the Alexa Grasso thing? Yeah, that was the only reason why I bet on her. Hold on, brother, I'm talking. Where's the kid? What's up, Sigma? 60, I see you've been hitting some nice bets. Yes and no. Yes, I'm going to be hitting some more. I'm pretty confident in this next card. I am pretty goddamn confident in this next card. Poatan is, I just don't see him losing. And I've noticed that I don't do Gematria for MMA besides main events and championships. I've noticed for main events and championships, it plays, but for all the rest of them, it doesn't seem to play that much. And I called, actually, I think I called all the main events correctly. And anyways, Poatan is a double 81. It's an ordinal and reverse ordinal. Poatan equals 81. And Alex Pereira can be 8-1 with a victory versus Izzy Adesanya. Now it's very simple. Something like that is very simple. But these things have cashed over and over and over again. Leon's thing, it was so simple. His cipher was so simple and it cashed. Jon Jones' cipher was so simple and it cashed. Chito Vera had a cipher for him losing and it cashed. And these are like really, really simple ones. Like when you go into other sports, you really got to fucking dig deep. But in mixed martial arts, it's different. Like you don't have to dig that deep. Anyway, so and I looked at the numbers for both Izzy and Alex, and I don't see any numbers for Izzy. Like on all levels, on a physical level, on a mental level, on a technical level, and on a Gematria level, Alex has the advantage in all those categories. So you have to bet Alex there. You fucking have to bet. Get out. Sixsoul versus anti-Pet Rigo. Dude, we already went over this. Like I don't want to be against Rigo. He's too tiny. He's too tiny of a man. It doesn't make me look good if I'm shitting on him. Who are you playing for 287? Really confident in Piper, Chalian, and Curtis. Okay, so Poatan, I'm gonna be on huge. Adrian Yanez, I really like Adrian Yanez. I think it's gonna be a close fight. I think it's gonna be a decision. But I think Adrian, okay, what's Rob Fon's best attribute? His hands. What's Adrian Yanez's best attribute? His hands. Who has better hands? Adrian Yanez. That's basically, that's my quick breakdown. But if your best attribute, your opponent does better, I feel like you're fucked. Also, Font is like 6 years older. He's taken some damage lately. And I just feel like Yanez he's probably the next Font, to be honest. Like he's probably Font 2.0 or Font. Like he's fat and he's quicker too. Not only does he better fan, he's so quick. They're both really crisp. Both guys have the best boxing in the division. maybe with Jan too, but like both guys are like high level boxers. I just rate Yanez's boxing a little bit higher, and he's younger and he's quicker. I think that's an easy one. A small play on Poatan Barnett. No, have a huge play on Poatan. Just single bet. I'm telling you, Poatan's going to win this one. I'm very, very confident in it. Barnett, I'm going to have a play on Barnett too. I could not believe like when Barnett and Sherman first got released. Barnett was like a slight underdog, I think, and now he's like I think he's like plus 200 or some shit against Chase Sherman. Now I get it. In my mind, it's like a 50-50 fight. Maybe 51-49 in favor of Barnett. My takes on it is that I bet heavyweight a little bit different than I bet the other weight classes. In heavyweight, it really, really matters who the more dangerous fighter is, who can finish the fight faster and with more ways. Obviously, Chris Barnett is that fighter. Chase Sherman, he might be a heavyweight, but he can't even finish his dinner. So, but I can see the reasoning for picking him, and I can see why all these people are jumping on him. They're like, oh, he's got the cardio, and he's durable, and he's just going to take the best shots that Barnett can give him, and he's going to grind him into deep waters and grind out a decision. I could see that for sure. But in heavyweight, like these guys hit too hard. There's too many finishes in heavyweight, and I think the finishing ability alone of Barnett, at plus 200, you have to put at least a small bet on him. I'm gonna have him in some parlays. I think just some not like my confident parlays, but my hopeful parlays that are like really high in odds. You know. How did I find Guru's name? I did not find Guru's name. I didn't find Guru's name. Ilya and Musical's friend, I forgot that guy's name. And there was a group of us. That like they had their mission to like find out Guru's name. And this was like back in October or some shit. It was on Discord, and I didn't really do anything about it, but there was a couple people that were like really, really heavy into it, and they figured it out. I will give you a hint, and yeah, fuck it. I'll give you a hint. Polidori was the genius. Not a fan of Polidori, but he was the one that figured it out. So Rigo's last appreciate you. If you want to know Guru's name, he doxed himself. If you can find Guru showing his medals that aren't his, I think you guys got mad at me for saying this last time, but like this is nothing bad. Like this is just me calling out a lie. This is nothing bad. Guru likes to say silver, bronze. He Taekwondo, all the shit, and then he showed the medals. Find that video. That's how Polidori figured out his name. And we figured out that they weren't Guru's medals, but they were his brother's medals. That's as much as I'm going to say. But that's how we found out. I saw the videos you sent of Poatan trolling Izzy, gave me a good chuckle. Oh, dude, there's so many of them. They're like, over the past few months, I just get recommended on YouTube, like these shorts. I swear to God, he has at least like 20 or 30 videos of just shitting on Izzy, and no English. And yeah, but the one of the movie, that woman that looked exactly like Izzy, like fucking exactly like Izzy. And I fucking love the fact that Alex doesn't speak any English. Someone said this in a comment I read today. I don't remember where. But someone said it's hilarious that of all the people, the person who got under Izzy's skin is the one who doesn't speak any English. So I actually love that he doesn't speak any English. The fact that he doesn't need English to eviscerate Izzy verbally and just trolling him, I think it makes it even better. I don't know. I think Font has more decision equity, but I'm back and forth on that. Probably picking Ineza. I mean, I could see Font like. Well, I don't think Yanez has cardio issues. That's the thing. Like, they're 35ers, so I think he's good. He'll slow down a little bit as the fight goes on. Like, definitely in the third round. I don't think his hand speed will be as fast as it is in the first. But I don't see either guy finishing each other. People like to shit on Font's chin, but he's never been knocked out. I think he's got a pretty decent chin. Yanez has got a chin. Good. Neither guy's been knocked out. And I don't see a finish here. I think it's going to be a decision. And probably 29-28, Yanez taking the first 2 rounds. Yeah, I like Yanez there. Font Cheeto reminds me of Reyes Yuri in a way. What? Reyes Yuri versus Font Cheeto. How? And Font was already he's chinny, I guess, but he's never been knocked out. Like, he's tough as fuck, dude. Like, he can take a shitload of damage. So I don't like, he gets drops, but I don't like saying he's chinny. I think he's got a decent chin. Like, he hasn't been knocked out, and he's taken some fucking bombs, especially lately. He's taken some fucking bombs. And like bombs that I feel like most bantamweights would probably succumb to. Yeah, I can't believe Sherman was minus 275. Yeah, that's insane. Like, Sherman's like the bottom feeder level of heavyweight, which is the bottom feeder division of male MMA in the UFC. So Sherman just on looks alone is one of the worst fighters in the UFC, excluding females. I think Sorcerer clipped that. Clipped what? Costa did too, and he didn't speak English back then. I know, yeah, it's great. It's but Pereira doesn't speak any of it at all. Costa knew what earrings meant. Yeah, but I like that Pereira. He barely has to try, and you can tell he's just a really funny guy. Like, you can tell he's a smart, funny guy, and I like it even better, man. Like, I personally don't give a shit if a fighter can speak English. I don't care if they're from America or what color their skin is. Like, I think most Americans are the same. When it comes to every other country, like, people like will gather around their fighter, you know, like Loquacious and Corey McKenna are like this, you know, because she's from Wales, and Musical and what's his name? Jordan Levitt. They're like this because Musical's from Brighton and Jordan Levitt might as well be from Brighton. But like in America, we don't care. Like, Kamaru Usman's from America. He's probably one of my least favorite fighters of all time. I hate Izzy, but it's nowhere near the disdain that I have for Kamaru. Kamaru is the biggest piece of shit human being I think I've ever seen in the UFC. Tito's up there, but Tito's at least funny. I don't know. Kamaru, I seethe with rage every time he fucking opens his stupid fucking mouth. Whereas Izzy, I kind of just feel bad for him. You know, like, I hate him, but I also, like, there's a part of me that just feels bad for him. Like, Guru broke him down so perfectly where you could just see those childhood traumas where, like, he was clearly the outsider. He was clearly the outcast. He didn't have any friends and shit. So his entire personality and persona is just making up for that now. Like, he hasn't just gotten over it. So that aspect of me just feels bad for him. And I feel bad for him for having to take this fight again, to be fair. Like, it's karma because the only reason why he's been champion this long is because of his physical attributes. So it's karma that he has to keep fighting a guy with better physical attributes than him. But still, dude, like, just imagine being across the ring or the octagon against Alex Pereira for 4 fucking times. That alone gives me a little bit of sympathy for Izzy. But he's going to get his ass kicked. I'm glad with Glover to translate and convey the jokes. Yes. So Glover's our translator. No, I mean, Font Cheeto reminds me of Reyes Yuri because of the damage on the face. Oh, I thought you were talking about stylistically. Because I wasn't seeing that. I gotcha. Font's face looked like he got stung by 1,000 bees while having a bee sting allergy. Yes, I. That has nothing to do with chin though. That's your skin texture. Like there's two types of durability. Or there's actually three types of durability, I will say, when it comes to MMA. You've got chin, which is like just how hard of a shot you can take without getting knocked out. And then then it's your skin, the way you wear just shots. Like Cheeto has got like adamantium skin or some shit. Same with Justin Gaethje. Like they just don't wear any damage at all in their face. And that, even though it has nothing to do with chin, it's still in the durability category, and it's still just as important, I would say. Depending on the fight. In some fights, it's more important. In some fights, it's a lot less important. It depends on who you're fighting against and how the styles clash within the fight. But you want to have both. You want to have a good chin, and you want to not wear your damage very well. And then the third thing is how durable you are in your body. The fucking Fiziev fight with Gaethje, I could not believe the shots Gaethje was taking to the gut, and his entire midsection was just bright red. But he wasn't really wearing the damage. Like you couldn't see, like he didn't slow down at all. The entire fucking fight. The entire goddamn fight, he didn't slow down at all. It was Fiziev who slowed down. And that's like it's your chin, kinda. It's your chin, but it's like your rib chin or your stomach chin. Gaethje's insane. That's something I did not. I thought for sure that Fiziev was gonna piece him up to the body, and that Gaethje was gonna start to slow down in the third round because he was gonna get shot up like that, and there was nothing. So respect to Gaethje. That was the only fight that I missed on that main card. But I still think Fiziev won that fight. I do think Fiziev. I could see it either way. It was like, do you value more the head shots that Gaethje was landing, or do you value more the body shots that Fiziev was landing? It's like I thought that Fiziev was doing the more damaging shots. I know me personally would much rather take the shots that Gaethje was throwing than the shots that Fiziev was throwing. If I get hit by just one of those fucking kicks just straight to the gut, like I'd probably be crying for a week. But I can see how you can give it to Gaethje. I did. Oh my god! I don't even know if I should talk about this. I don't want to bring more of it, but I kind of want to vent too. I had last card. I did not bet very much on last card, but I had 4 bets. I had a flat bet with Andrea Lee split decision. And then I had 3 Andrea Lee split decisions tied up with one either Boston Celtics NBA Finals, one Boston Lakers NBA Finals, and then Lakers Sixers NBA Finals. It's going to be one of those 3, 100%. And I tied in Andrea Lee because I felt like she was going to barely win. I felt like she was slightly better than Macy Barber, and she was plus 1,200 for that. I was like, those are great odds. I'm going to take a little flyer on that. Watching the fight, I'm rooting for Andrea Lee, and then she's doing too well, so I'm rooting a little bit for Macy, and then I'm rooting for Andrea Lee. And at the end of the fight, I'm like, I think I did it. I think Andrea Lee did good enough, but not too good, where she might actually get a split decision. But she definitely won the fight, and they gave it to Macy Barber. When I heard this, when Bruce Buffer said, was it Buffer? I think it was Buffer. When he said the second card, and he said it was for the first fight. First judge gave it to Andrea Lee. Second judge gave it to Macy Barber. In my mind, I'm thinking I did it. I fucking did it. I hit a plus 1,200. I fucking did it. In no fucking universe did Macy Barber win that fight. It was the same exact thing. The same exact thing as Josh Emmett and Calvin Kattar. Same exact thing. Where like 90% of the shots that Macy was throwing, they were all landing on Andrea Lee's very high guard. None of the shots she was throwing on her feet were landing at all. They were all blocked. So in my mind, I'm like, this is fucking easy. Problem is, judges are retarded, and they don't realize that if a shot lands on your arm, but it makes a sound, like that doesn't count. This is why the strike the striking numbers they always look so fucking inaccurate because they count parries and blocks. They count parries and blocks, and they don't. So in my mind, actually, like if I was judging it, I don't even think Macy Barber did good enough for a split decision. I think Andrea Lee should have won unanimous decision. I truly believe that. She lost the first round because Macy got her down. She did a decent amount of damage, not too crazy, but like the fight started a little iffy. Macy definitely won that first round, but Andrea Lee just she took off with that fight, and she clearly won rounds 2 and 3, very clearly. And that was for me, that was a brutal robbery because I had just a $1 bet straight. But hypothetically, if it's Lakers and Sixers, I would have turned $1 into $987. And if it's Lakers Celtics, I would have turned $1 into 400 and something. And if it was Celtics and Denver, I would have turned $1 into like 100. So I got robbed of potential either 100, 500, or $1,000 in that, and that's gonna stick with me for a very long time. Thoughts on Rigo musical beef? I don't know. What's up, Paul Dory? I'm hearing about it now. I don't know anything about it. Like no one's talking to me about it. Like if you want to like give me a brief detail on what's going on between them, I can give you my thoughts, but I literally know nothing. I can say no, that's just too stupid. I'm not gonna say it. Made a whole video on Hamzat's interview while he obviously didn't watch it. Guru lied about Hamzat. I don't watch Guru's videos that much anymore. I watch some of them. I probably watch like 25, 30% of them at most. There's other people online that I respect their opinion more. And not only do I respect their opinion more, they're just way more passionate about MMA. And it reminds me of old school Guru. He's just not, it's his job now, you know? And like whenever your passion becomes your job, it's inevitable. You're going to be less passionate about it. That's just human nature. But it's just very fucking obvious that he's not nearly as passionate about it as he used to be. And part of it is the UFC's fault too. It's not all Gurus. Like I'm probably a little bit less passionate about it than I used to be too, just because the UFC has been going down the shitter. That being said, so I don't really watch a whole lot of his stuff these days. Hello, Flashman. Hello. Yes. Yes, he's a certified capper, Ilya. Oh wait, Guru. Well, yeah, Guru. Well, yeah, I'm a cat owner, but I'm not a soldier. Yeah, you know, Guru has to help you. I'm a cat owner, but I'm not a soldier. When I ever go to the lake, one of the songs I listen to is that song, and I'll either sing. When it comes to the bridge, I'll either sing, "I'm Sixsoul, but I'm not a soldier," or I'll sing, "The lake's cold, but my heart's colder." And that's what gets me going. I'll say, "The lake's cold, but my heart is colder," and then that's what gets me pumped up. Almost always, I'll listen to some song before I go, before I jump in the lake, so I can pump myself up and get ready. Because it's always a battle. Have you cat that I can what? Have you cat that I can you do a little more about that? The song lyrics? That beef was made up by fake Rigo pretending to be Rigo in last night's stream. What do you Eric Williams, what's up? What's up, buddy? How's it going, chat, everyone? My friend from Texas, Big Willie style, Eric Williams is in the house. How's it going, man? How's it going? Hope all is well. I'm just talking about a bunch of random shit, but mostly MMA-based stuff. That's what this stream started as, like 4 months ago, and then I stopped doing it a couple months ago. Pat Barry's in the house. What emoji can we use to represent Eric? Good question. Well, ask Eric. Cowboy hat. Cowboy hat could be good, but there's got a lightning bolt. Lightning bolt, right, Eric? It's got to be the lightning bolt. White lightning. the white lightning. Big and beefy. Or maybe a cow for big and beefy. That could work too. So I'd say a lightning bolt, a cow, or the cowboy hat. But yeah, what were we talking about? Yeah, there we go. So I'm assuming I know. Yeah. So Sir Mykionis, Greek name. I know who you are. So I'm assuming you're not under your main thing because you're afraid you're gonna get kicked out. Like you should not be afraid of that. If I'm telling you, getting kicked out of that stupid ass Discord was the best thing that ever happened to me. And if you get kicked out of it, I promise you, at first you're gonna be like, you're gonna go through a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings. You're gonna be like, what the fuck? What's going on? Mr. Pib Extra, how's it going, buddy? How's it going? I wanted to talk to you, Mr. Pib. Have you been to Okoboji? The Iowa Great Lakes, because I know you're all up in that upper Midwest area. That's been a place I've been looking at to move to. I do want to get out of here because of all the fucking pollution shit now. Like for my own health and Larry's health, like I want to get the fuck out of here. Even though I'm in a relatively good position for being just 80 miles away from East Palestine, like I'm in literally the best possible spot I could fucking be. And it's still not great. Like I still can't exercise outside. Well, I don't know if I can now, but I couldn't a month ago. The OGs in the chat. Did I actually meet with what? Oh, were they supposed to meet? Mr. Pitt, how's the RV doing? Yes. Nice dude, you should. Iowa sounds good. You haven't heard of it? Mr. Pitt, you haven't heard it, but it's not that really. It's in northwest Iowa. It's just like a few miles south of the border of Minnesota in northwest Iowa. It's called the Iowa Great Lakes, and it's Okoboji. The big lake is called Okoboji, but the town is called something else. There's an Okoboji town, and there's something else, and there's what's it called? There's an amusement park there. It's like a small town, but it seems like the most idyllic, like classic small town America fucking place. Another trail derailment today in Minnesota. That is not surprising. How many does that make? How many does that make? Hopefully it's not toxic like the one here was, because if it is, then that would ruin me wanting to go to Iowa. This is what I like. I want to go somewhere where like the percentage chance of some shit like this happening is just low. This is why I want to get the fuck away from big cities and shit. And out of all the places I was looking at, that place in northern Iowa just seemed really nice. There's a few places in Iowa that seem really nice. There's Clear Lake, Storm Lake, and Okoboji. Those were the three places I was looking at. Alaska's way too expensive, Williams. When me and Steph moved here, our first, like, we were gonna move to Alaska. That was the first thing. And then I looked at the prices, and like, yeah, housing is cheap in Alaska. Like, housing is not expensive, but you look at you get paid more. Yes, but it's not nearly the same, dude. Depending on where you live in Alaska, like a lot of it is highly variable. But so many of the places in Alaska are basically islands that you can only get to by flying. So shipping is crazy. It's like a roll of toilet paper. It's like $30 or some shit. And yeah, you do get paid more up there, but it's not like significantly. It's not so much more that it covers that much. And just getting up there and shit too. Like, I would love Alaska. I know I'd love, or parts of Alaska anyways. But that's a shitload of sun in the summer and not a lot of sun in the winter, and both those aspects would bother me. I'm probably gonna stay in the continental United States. But the two places I was looking at was like northern Iowa, and like the upper Midwest region like Wisconsin and Minnesota. And then the other place I've been looking at, it's more expensive, but it definitely fits a lot of my criteria, is Flagstaff, Arizona. Because Flagstaff, Arizona, it's in Arizona, but it's 7,000 feet in the air. So it never really gets that hot. I think the hottest it's ever been is like 98 degrees, which is crazy. And like it rarely gets above 90. And like the winter, the summertime lows are like, they're nice. Where here, the summertime lows are fucking horrible. Nothing like Dallas, nothing like Dallas, Eric. Yeah, being up in elevation in the forest in northern Arizona, and when I drove through northern Arizona on the way here, like I kept it in my mind. I was thinking like this would be a place I could definitely fucking live, like for sure. And the fact that it is closer to my hometown and everything, like that is kind of nice, closer to the ocean. Although I'd still probably never fucking go. But I don't know. That's the other place I was looking at. But it's so far fucking away. Whereas like Iowa is like a 12-hour drive. Like that's doable. Where like Arizona, I could do it, but man, like the drive here from San Diego to Cleveland, it was not fun. Not fucking fun. Tell us about your meditation and Gematria advancements. Okay. Good question. So Gematria. So I have learned, this is going to be like a 7-hour rabbit hole, because I have learned so much about the way the world works in general, just by studying Gematria. I call it both, but it's got to be Gematria, because the guy who pronounces it Gematria pronounces everything wrong. So it's got to be Gematria. Anyway, so when I first started, when I first started, like it was like the futures. And I was like, oh shit, this is so fucking easy. Why doesn't everyone do it? And so when online gambling became legal in Ohio, like I went really deep into it. And at first, like the first few weeks, like I was getting shit on. Like there were so many things. I was like, oh my God, this is gonna hit for sure. This is gonna hit for sure. This is gonna be hit for sure. And the majority of them did not hit. The vast majority of them did not hit. And I'm in a lot of different Discords with different Gematria groups and people just working together and shit. And the common what's it called? People think that the powers that be, or what have you, who's ever setting us up, they're purposely seeding these things in the regular seasons. Like, oh, this looks like a crazy thing. The craziest one I've ever seen in my life. Like a few months ago, James Harden had he had a Fibonacci sequence sync where like it was insane. I didn't do this decode. My closest friend in the Gematria community did this decode, and it's to this day craziest decode I've ever seen. Crazier, in my opinion, than any Super Bowl decodes. And Super Bowls are always super expansive, super easy to figure out, and super mind blowing. This was even crazier. This was a Fibonacci sequence where like it was synced up to 9/11, but it was synced up like, it's hard to describe, but it was like it was synced up to 9/11, and then it was synced up to like different disasters throughout history, like getting further and further back exponentially, like the Fibonacci sequence. And all of it pointed to James Harden getting a triple-double that day. So I was like, fuck, I'm gonna hammer that shit. And then he didn't get a triple-double. He was like 2 assists short or some shit. And that's usually how it goes. And then so a lot of people are thinking within the community, like, oh, they're trolling us. Payson, Arizona. Yeah, I drove through I drove through Payson, Arizona too, Eric. That's the route we took from Phoenix all the way up. You go through Payson, and then you go east through Arizona and into New Mexico. Yeah, you took that same route. Like on the way to Payson, that's in my mind. I was thinking I could fucking move here right now. We don't even have to fucking move all the way to Ohio. Like this place looks nice, but yeah, I wasn't aware of how green and foresty and beautiful northern Arizona is. Like It's really fucking beautiful up there. What was I saying? Gematria. So anyways, so what I realized this maybe just a few weeks ago, because there's so many trolls. They're just trolling. It's like there's all these things and then they don't hit. And it's like, how can they not hit? And then like you dig deeper and you realize why they don't hit. They're not trolling you. They're not trolling you. The reason why they don't hit is because the books are in conjunction with the leagues. So for instance, let's say there's a crazy synchronicity, numerical synchronicity that says, let's use tonight for example. Boston's playing the Bucks tonight. And I don't know this for sure. Like I've done a little bit of research for today, but I didn't do any individual research. So I don't know if this is true or not. But hypothetically, let's say that Giannis has a huge, crazy Gematria sync for getting a triple double. If it's too crazy, if it connects to too many things, too many people are gonna notice it, and then too many people are gonna bet it. This is what I started looking at line movements. Line movements are really key when it comes to Gematria-based betting. Look like this. Like I learned so fucking much doing this shit. Look like. So like if hypothetically, if I researched today and I said, oh, I like Giannis triple double today, and then I look at his odds. Normally, Giannis triple double odds hover between like plus 1100 to plus 1500 ish, somewhere around there. So first off, like if I like him for triple double day, I'm looking at the odds, and if he's way lower, if he's at like plus 600, or if he's at like plus 2000 or higher, or plus 600 or lower, dude, I'm not gonna touch it. I'm not going to touch it because those are baits. Those are fucking baits. I've seen it way too many fucking times. And so what happens is when a synchronicity when it's too big, when it's too good, the odds are that too many people are going to notice that synchronicity and then they're going to bet that. And when a certain amount of people bet on a certain thing to happen, when it's too much, that thing is guaranteed not going to happen in the regular season. Postseason is completely different. Completely different. This is why I love postseason betting and not regular season betting. This is why I did so fucking good in NFL postseason, and why I'm pretty sure I'll do very, very good in the NBA postseason in a few weeks. But the regular season, because everything's set in stone, right? But it's set in stone to a degree in the regular season, especially when there's 82 games in the NBA, 82 games in the NHL, 161 or 162 games in the MLB. If there's a crazy synchronicity for something to happen on one night, but it's more profitable for the books to happen the next night or the next game or 2 games down the road, they will do that. They'll be like, okay, they will. I don't know how the fuck they do it. Like I definitely have my theories, and that would go in like another couple of hours. But I know for a fact that they're not trolling. They double code every single fucking game, and then the synchronicities that hit, they're not the more subtle synchronicities or the bigger synchronicities. It's just the synchronicities that more people weren't on. So a lot of times it is the more subtle ones, but not always. And the biggest indicator is the line movement and the, like, if you know typically what someone normally is, like for instance, Domantas Sabonis, he's been hitting a lot of triple doubles lately, and normally he's in the plus 400 range for triple double. I remember looking him up. This was like 2 weeks ago. I remember looking him up, seeing some crazy synchronicities. I'm like, all right, this looks pretty good. I go on FanDuel, plus 200. Fuck that shit. No fucking way I'm putting that bet in. That's a bait. They bait you. I used to think trap lines weren't a thing. In MMA, I don't think they're a thing. But in every other sport, I do think they're a thing. I know they're a thing in NBA. I've noticed this because there was no fucking reason in hell that Sabonis should be plus 200 in that. Let's see. Move to Iowa. You like 2 hours from the Iowa Great Lakes are 2.5 hours from Indianapolis. and they're like it's like an hour away from what is it, Grand Forks? No. Great Falls, South Dakota. One of the South Dakota cities on the east side. Too much crime. Wait, Flagstaff has crime? Flagstaff doesn't have crime. Flagstaff is going to hell. Move to Iowa. Don't move to Flagstaff. Sniff stole his throat from. Wait, why are you against Flagstaff? You just want to drop by wherever I live because you're always hanging out in the northern part of the country. I don't like. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea. I could just fucking stay here too. Like it all just depends. But anyways, what was I talking about? Gematria. Everything's double code. Like literally every single fucking game. Not everything, but so many things are double coded. And this is why I only watch UFC. This is why I don't watch any other sports. It's because all the other sports are so coded, and the UFC is minimally coded. It is far less coded than any other sport that I've seen by a long shot. It's still coded in the main events and the championship fights, but far less. So, and just watching it live, I can tell the real fights from the fake fights. I know Alexa versus Valentina was not a real fight. I know that wasn't a real fight. But most fights in the UFC are real fights. Meet up with you in the city. So he says, go to strip club. I've never been to a strip club in my life, Mr. Pitt. This is not my thing. Like, I can't imagine paying a girl so she just sits on my lap. Like, dude, to me, that's the most beta male shit fucking thing ever. Like, I could not live with myself. This is just my personal views on things, but I feel like it's just lame. I can look at Tiny Texie any single fucking time I want, Mr. Pip. I can jerk off to Tiny Texie anytime I want. Why the hell would I fucking throw hundreds at a fucking strip club? UFC is coded. Look at Jon Jones. That's what I said. Like that was one of the reasons why I picked Jones, because it was coded. UFC is coded, but it's far less coded, and in the prelims and even in the like I've noticed in the main card fights, because there was a couple fights in these past few months that were main card fights, but they were like opening the main card or like the second or third fight in the main card. And the code was pretty clearly in favor of one fighter, and none of them cashed out. And so I always take it with a grain of salt. It doesn't seem that the higher ups really give a shit about lower level fighters, but they do give a shit about the higher level fighters. That's for sure. Let's see. Did you see to focus on the green? Wait, in the fuzz or in the blue? Wait, what are you talking? Oh, you're talking about the fuzz? Oh, you're talking about the static? The static? Okay, so like right now, when I look at the static, because there's a lot of light coming in, it's very faint, right? And right now it does kind of look green, but in the darkness, it doesn't look green. The darkness, it's red and blue, and you don't really focus on the red or the blue is the good and the red is the bad, but well, there's different things you could do. I think just to start with, just look at the fuzz and then like breathe in the blue. Breathe in it might appear to you as like a bright, like a whitish blue, or it could appear darker blue. Like it appears different for different people. But I think the best way to start out with the fuzz is just breathing in the good stuff, the blue stuff. All the fast food is horrible right now. I don't eat fast food, so I can't say. But I mean, fast food is horrible in general, so I can agree with that. Let's see, Ms. Privet, making your own cheap junk food at home is better. I did eat fast food last week, but it was. I told you guys before, across the street they have hot dogs. It used to be $2 for $1 hot dogs, of course, with everything. Now it's just $1 hot dog. So I went across the street I was just craving it's like once every couple months, like I just want a hot dog, even though they're fucking gross. And so I did get a hot dog across the street for $1, and that was the only fast food I've eaten in months, in fucking months. I just chemicals really like they don't appetize me. If there's a lot of chemicals in food, I just won't eat it. The only fast food that's not like that is like Five Guys and In-N-Out. There's no In-N-Out out here, sadly. I'd rather lose money to a girl than a baseball bet. Baseball just started today. I have not. No, that's a lie. I did place a few bets. I have no idea if they cash or not. They're done now, so I will know after the stream's over. I'm not gonna. Baseball's actually allegedly, because I don't know, because I haven't. I just got into betting a few months ago, so like the way I do it. But allegedly, it's actually one of the more profitable sports to bet on, not on a money line basis. It's actually probably the worst sport to bet on a money line basis, because there's so many games. There's just so much variability. But on an individual stat line basis, on a looking for homers basis, allegedly, like I said, I haven't done it myself. I did bet on it today. I bet New York Yankees parlayed with Stanton home run. Don't know if that hit. And then I bet the no run first innings. I really like that. I used to do that a few years ago in like a free thing. I used to bet the no run first innings. Those usually hit, and those are like you can get pretty good odds on that. Those generally hit. DoorDash is too expensive in a rip. Dude, I've never used DoorDash in my life. Jon Jones, born in 1987, the year of the cat, wins his first UFC title in 2011. Year of the cat, yes. Stripped of the title in 2017. Year of the rooster. The enemy sign of the cat. Regains his UFC title in 2023. Year of the cat. Yes. Oh yeah, dude. I don't know if Illuminati musical. I don't know if you noticed, but the first thing Jon Jones did when he beat Cyril Gahn, bonk. They're not pointing at God when they do that. Whenever you see an athlete, like whenever they do something good, like a high level athlete, and they're pointing up, they're not pointing at God. But yeah, so back to Gematria. I've seen the craziest shit that makes you rethink fucking everything. It makes you rethink everything. So at first when you discover Gematria, you're like, oh shit, this is just how like the higher ups like hide shit in plain sight and whatever. And then you do more digging, and you do more digging, and then you dig on personal shit. And you're like, what the fuck? Why are there synchronicities in my life? and there are reasons why there's more synchronicities in my life than there are in like most people's. But even still, like I come across some things that I literally am not going to talk about on YouTube. But certain things where I thought, okay, this definitely the elites are manipulating shit, using this as a manipulation tactic, but it's not their original thing, if that makes sense. Like the Gematria is somehow, some way, a numerical representation of how this universe is coded. I do believe that now. At first, that was a theory I had. I thought that maybe it could, maybe it couldn't. And now in my mind, there is no fucking doubt. Seeing synchronicities in my life, and there's a guy. Actually, I'll post a video in Discord if you guys are interested. There's a guy on YouTube. He posted like an hour and some long video, and like the first part of it is like a normal standard Gematria decoding. He's a really good decoder, and he'll grab things from all over and show how it fucking literally everything's connected. But the second half of his video, he does a 180, and instead of doing all these current events and shit, he does a personal event, and he talks about how his cousin died a long time ago, and all these insane synchronicities that he saw pop up when his cousin died. And I've seen similar synchronicities in my life. And like the higher ups, they can't be, there's just no, I don't want to say there's no way, because there is a way where it's possible, but it's very, very unlikely, in my opinion, that they have their claws in humanity that deeply that just random civilians like me and just normal people who have no notoriety at all, we're stuck in this fucking Gematria matrix. Like we're fucking, like its hooks are in us just as deeply as it's hooked in to the fucking professional athletes and the politicians and the actors, like any celebrity, like they're all heavily connected with it. And it's really changed my perception of it. It's like, yes, it is a tool that the elites use 100%, no doubt about that. No doubt about that in my mind. But they're hacking into something bigger than themselves, or they're tapping into something better, I should say. They're tapping into the numerical fucking data that is our universe and manipulating it. If that makes sense. So I've learned so much about it, man. Like so much. And so much of Gematria, like so much of how if a certain team is going to win or if a certain player is going to do good is all in astrology, dude. It's all based in astrology, and I fucking hate astrology, dude. Astrology is it's a pseudoscience. However, even though it's a pseudoscience, the powers that be apply that pseudoscience very scientifically to Gematria to make all these things work, in my opinion. So I've learned I've learned more about astrology in the past like month and a half than I ever thought I would ever know, because it doesn't really appeal to me. While I fully recognize that everything in this universe is connected, and like the alignments, the planets and stars and everything can and do have an effect on us. That's a fact. I don't deny that. There's just so many almost infinite amount of things that to say that like, oh, I'm a Libra, so like I'm this, or like this is my moon sign, this is my, like, there's too many things. There's just too many bodies in the fucking solar system, and their 12 house system is wrong anyways. There's actually 13 houses, which makes it inaccurate. So that's why I always disregarded it, even though I believe there's truth in it, but the way it's practiced isn't truthful. But now I'm not a practicer, but like now I just know a lot more about it. And I've been doing a lot better lately because I apply more and more astrology to this shit. I have a wireless keyboard on Sniff's mom doing doggy typing this. Thoughts on Rigo? I nothing Rigo. I feel I'm happy. I'm super happy for Rigo that his channel is blown up that much. And like the last time I saw, he had like 100 concurrent viewers. That's insane. That's like not a very big channel, like proportionally speaking. So I'm very happy for Rigo with that. But like in terms of a person, like I don't know how people fucking watch that shit. Like I've sat through like maybe a minute or two a couple times, and like I said this before on the stream, like I'll make a joke about his skinny neck, and then like I try to sit through some, but I can't. Like it's not an interesting stream. So like I thought that, like I'm glad he's doing well, but yeah, I'm not a fan. Okay, like an aqua, a greeny light blue. Yeah, if that's how it looks for me. It's way more blue than it is. Like for me, I don't really see green. Although in the bright light, like right now, it's a little bit green. I definitely recommend practicing at night, because it's just so much easier to practice at night in a dimly lit room. Just turn on like a small lamp, and you'll see like it's very, very, very clear. Whereas in the daylight, you have to look at it more. What's your favorite cheat meals to make? Cheat meals to make? Oh, I don't have cheat meals ever. Actually, I think all my meals are good, but I cheat a lot. But they're not cheat meals. They're cheat snacks. Like I love my vegan ice cream. I fucking love my almond milk ice cream, man. Like that's what I normally cheat with. Other than that, actually, I've been eating really good lately. I haven't been eating out at all, so it's pretty much just vegan ice cream and like chocolate bars. Those aren't meals. That's like end of the night, and I'm still hungry, and I'll just eat some fucking candy. Sounds kinky. Culver's. Oh, I haven't been to Culver's in a long time, but I do love Culver's. There's a Culver's right across the street, and I do love Culver's. Don't talk about betting so boring. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, what do you want me to talk about? Do you get ringing in your ears when you do deep in the static? Yes, it is connected. Sir Myocanis, I know exactly who you are now. Okay, so if you're, I don't have a hard time remembering what I have said and haven't said on stream. But yes, the ringing in your ears, it's actually not in your ears, and it's actually not even ringing. It's just how our body is perceiving the data coming through. But what that ringing actually is, in my opinion, is it's how do I say this? I don't want to say it sounds from the soul, because it's not sound. We perceive it as sound, but it's for lack of a better word, excretions from your soul. It's a byproduct of your soul, is what I would say. It's a byproduct of having a soul, is hearing the ringing, like if you're conscious of it. And if you're looking at the static in the air, that naturally is going to put you in a more spiritual state, and you're going to start hearing the ringing. Or if you go into deep meditations when it's completely quiet, a lot of times you'll start hearing the ringing. Why? Because you're getting in touch with your soul. And I don't know if I've gone into this, but the ringing is very important. Like one of the most high level, advanced, but super practical and super useful techniques that I use in meditation is I use the ringing. So when you get the ringing, it will be on one side. It will either be like here or here. Like it's somewhere like in relation to your dome, somewhere. When you get that one ringing, it's hard to describe, but look for a second tone. Like you get one tone and it's like, and look for another tone that's like a little bit higher. And I can't do it justice, but it's like a little bit higher. And it's like, if you imagine string cheese, imagine when you get the first tone, it's like a full string cheese, but like an ethereal string cheese, and you're hearing this thick fucking string cheese tone. Every successive tone you hear, it's like you pull some string cheese off of that, and now you got 2 tones. And you pull it again, and now you got 3 tones. Pull it again, and now you got 4 tones. And you can literally do this an infinite amount of times, depending on your level. For me, most of the time, I get to 3 or 4, and like if you can get to 3, you're way higher than the average person. Like way higher. If you can just do 1, like you're in a good spot spiritually, in my opinion. If you can do 3, like that's like the Goldilocks zone, because every specific tone is like it's actually kind of like a different place, if that makes sense. Like you're going to a different spiritual place with each successive tone. So when you do the static, if you get a tone in one ear, let's say you got it right here, like let's say it's like here, you hear it right here. Look for the second tone, try to peel it, but you're not doing it with your ears. You're not listening for it. You're doing it with your heart. And try to peel a tone off, and it will usually be like exactly opposite. So if there's a front forward right, it's going to be backwards left, the second one, usually, but not always. But generally speaking, it's going to be almost directly opposite or near directly opposite of each other. And work on that. If you can just work on holding 2 or 3 tones at once, just for a couple of minutes. You cannot do this for a very long time. The matrix literally will not allow it. It won't allow, like just notice it yourself. Next time you hear a tone, just get your phone out, put on a timer, and see for as long as you can, how long you can just listen to that 1 tone or 2 tones, whatever you listen to. I promise you, it won't be more than a minute or 2, because it's that's part of the method of how you can escape from the matrix temporarily. And the Matrix doesn't want you doing that. Every single method that you can use to escape the Matrix, there are incredible fail safes, I guess, for lack of a better word. And what those fail safes really are is just the Matrix inputting a thought in your head. So like you're going to be listening to tones, and all of a sudden you're just going to think about something random. And then a minute later, you'll be like, oh shit, I was listening to the tones. What the fuck? Like, what happened? And then you have to retrace your thoughts back. Be like, oh, okay. So it's like a good practice in realizing your thoughts are not your own, and the thoughts can be put into your head, anyone's head at will or random. It's a really good practice. It's a really fucking good practice. And I'm happy that you're asking me about it, because I think it's really interesting, and this shit has helped me so much in my life. People dedicate their whole lives are so, wait, I'm confused. Whole lives to what? Oh, to betting. Gotcha. No, like for futures, I'm still heavy on futures. I'm telling Mr. Pip, I'm telling you, the NBA Finals, mark my words, it's either going to be Boston, Denver, which I'm leaning less and less towards, Boston, LA, the Lakers, not Clippers, or Lakers and Philadelphia. It's one of those three. And I still lean pretty heavily towards Lakers, Celtics. And for a long time, I was so convinced that it was going to be Boston winning it all because of the Bill Russell death. But the more shit keeps happening, and like really, really fucking insane, crazy synchronicities happening, and this coming from a Clipper fan, I lean the Lakers right now. I think the Lakers actually win it. I actually do. But I have it on both sides. Like I said, like I'm not betting. I'm not betting a future on either Boston wins it or LA wins it. No, because I know there can only be three possible matchups. Period. So I'm betting it's going to be one of those three matchups. And I if one of those hits, I will have thousands and thousands of dollars. Maybe not for the Denver Boston one because the odds are too low. But I don't think it's going to be that anyways. It's possible. If the Lakers get eliminated in the first round or some shit, then it's going to be Denver Boston, and that's going to hurt because I'm going to be winning hundreds instead of thousands. I'm praying, dear God, it's Lakers and Philadelphia, because that has the best odds right now, and that thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on $1 bets. But it's going to be one of those three for sure. And it's either going to be Boston or LA winning it all. You can take that to the bank. I would bet my life on it, man. I would bet my life on it. And that's very profitable if you know something for sure. Okay, I was about to ask if the elites are utilizing. Oh, the elites, that for sure, dude. I have no doubt in my mind that there's people that I would imagine that the elites hire, like probably people like me. I would imagine there's a lot of people like me that aren't involved with them, but like they know roughly what they do and shit. I have a feeling that people like me get hired to look for possible synchronicities in the future so they can fucking plan all this shit out. Because it could all be programmed from high, like if we are in the Matrix, if we are in a program, which I truly believe, I know this, but just assuming we are, all this could be programmed outside of the Matrix. And I do believe a lot of the Gematria that's like affected my life and everyday people's life, I do believe it is programmed outside of the Matrix. But then there's Gematria programmed within the Matrix. And I do think it's the elites, the higher ups that are still within this realm that have figured out how to tap into that higher data pool and manipulate it. But yeah, they know all about it, man. They know fucking all about it. And like the it's just the crazy synchronicities on a day-to-day basis. If you want to go down the craziest rabbit hole ever, just start watching videos on Gematria and start doing it yourself. I promise you will have so many what the fuck is going on moments, and like it will make you re-question and re-examine your entire life. Is this like the movie 23, Eric? Kinda. The movie 23, that was like the movie 23 is like popping up everywhere, and like when it comes to synchronicities, it's like yes and no. I'm gonna say it's like yes and no. It can make you go crazy. There are a lot of people in the Gematria community. Okay. There's two types of people. Oh no. There's two main types of people in the Gematria community. There's a lot of crazy people who have done so much decoding and have seen so much crazy shit go down numerically that it made them go insane because they didn't have like a spiritual, they didn't have like a strong enough spiritual foundation to like try to figure out what the fuck all this shit means. So they just went nuts and they went crazy and they used it as like, oh, they're all out to get us and like everything sucks and shit and like it's very negative. And there's a lot of those people in the community. Other type of person in the community, don't fucking cancel me. A lot of black people in the community. I don't know why. I've thought about this a lot because proportionally speaking, the amount of black people in the Gematria community versus every other community that I've ever been a part of online, it's insane. And it's not the type of thing that like you would think would naturally would lure one race of people in more than others. But black people in Gematria are like this, man. And I still don't know why that is. I don't know why it is. But like all my best friends in the community, they're all black. All of them are fucking black. And like it's fucking strange. It's fucking strange. Because I don't see anything inherent in black people other than maybe they're more I don't even want to say that because I don't think it's true. I don't think this is true, but it's a theory that I'm just spitballing right now. Maybe they're more likely to bet, like they're less risk adverse, so they gamble a little bit more, and because they gamble a little bit more, they're gonna be more likely to look for edges a little bit more. And if you're looking for edges a little bit more, you're more likely to stumble upon Gematria, which is how I stumbled upon it. I was looking for any gambling edge I could fucking possibly find, and this is how generally everyone finds it. Lestify, what's up, Lestify? The Matrix feeds off when you sleep. No, the Matrix feeds off us when I think it feeds off us pretty much regardless, unless you're in a super, super high physical, spiritual state where you can transcend this, or if you're like a really, really happy, peaceful mood, just like a good meditation or some shit like that. It's probably not feeding on you much, if at all then. But when you're just going through your day-to-day life, all the normal thoughts you have that pass through your head and all the little emotions of like dealing with normal everyday things, all that is food for the Matrix or food for the demiurges or whatever you want to call them, the archons. Like there's many names for the same thing in my opinion. But they do, so I'm way far behind. Holy fuck, I'm so far behind. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm going to try to go really fast. Gematria is, okay, so Lestify. Gematria is, if you're still here, Gematria is, it's numerology, but it's applied numerology to, so like there's different ciphers. So basically, if you go to gematrinator.com, just type in gematrinator.com, just type in your name or type in literally anything, any word, and it'll come out, and there's different ciphers, and through those ciphers, it will spit out a number. So like, and like different ciphers have like different rankings of how important they are. But one of my main numbers is 65 or 56. And I see that shit fucking everywhere in my life. But basically, Gematria is the practice of applying those numbers through those ciphers, and your birth date and your astrology signs, and it's applying them in a way where you can get certain synchronicities to line up so that it makes a certain event in your life happen more easily, for lack of a better word. Or that's one way of doing it. Or Gematria is like, it's just decoding, like, is this a conspiracy channel? It's not, it's just, Gematria is not a conspiracy. It's a fact. It's a fact. Do research on your, like, this is not conspiracy, because a conspiracy, like, this is literal, this is the fucking code that the world or the program or the universe, whatever you want to call it, it's the, I don't want to say it's the baseline code, because it's not. The baseline code is definitely geometry based for sure. Like, it isn't numerically based, but the numbers are representation, they're numerical representation of those geometrical patterns that everything is based off of. So looking into it, like, it's like scratching the surface of, like, it's like fucking movie called, it's like the Jim Carrey movie, Truman Show. It's like when he's like out on the boat and like he like hits the wall or something. He's like, what the fuck? That's what it's like. You hit the edge. Gematria is like you hit a philosophical edge, and then but it allows you to like break through it if you want, and it can make you go crazy. And it can make you fucking. It's turned so many people fucking into, in my opinion, like demonic entities, because they're looking at these not inherently bad numbers, but these manipulated numbers by demonic entities that it can make you go crazy. It's made me go crazy a little bit. But numerology, astrology, gematria, it's all tied in. It's all one. Like the numerology, astrology, and gematria. They're all separate. They're like separate rooms in the same house. Like, if you want a really good picture of how the world works, if you want to know why there's fucking train derailments fucking everywhere now, like, it will tell you why. It'll literally tell you the reasons why almost fucking everything. So Lestify is clearly, I'm guessing it's Rigo or it's Polidori or Musical. One of those people that I pissed off in the past. So what's up, Lestify? You can come up on your fucking main channel. Like maybe Musical will kick you because he's a fucking soy ass Brit. But who cares, dude? Who fucking cares? Do I still make mac and cheese with a pinch of lime juice? Oh my God, Williams. I actually just made mac and cheese not that long ago, but I thought about it. What's funny is I thought about it because but with that, yeah, it was the granulated lime juice. I don't have granulated lime juice, but I have a lime / chili blend. It's basically just like a cayenne pepper with lime in it. And I thought about putting it in the mac and cheese, but I didn't because I don't like that specific. It just doesn't taste good. Like that specific thing, it doesn't taste good. So I don't, but I want to. I thought about it, and if I had the actual thing, I totally would. But yeah, that is a weird culinary thing. Do you still do it, Eric Williams? Do you still do it? See, yeah, Lesify is clearly Rigo or Polidori, 100%. I don't think Musical is. I hurt Musical's feelings too much for him to like. He wants nothing to do with me, you know. Yeah. Sup, Toasty? How's it going, buddy? How's it going? Let's see. Any less he's in the chat, dude. Lestify, you realize you're retarded, right? I know you're Polidori. Why can't you just fucking go? Why can't you just fucking go? Yeah, these are how all my streams go. They go from spiritual to MMA to like fucking gematria to fucking. They're all over the place, just like everyone else's stream. Like it's not easy. It's not easy to just fucking be on a train like I have to do all the fucking entertaining and all the talking for hours and hours. If you've never done it, you don't know what it's like. Before I started streaming, I had an idea of Guru. I had an idea of what streaming was like, but I wasn't sure. And then after I started streaming, that idea, complete 180. Complete 180. You have no idea what it's like unless you've done it yourself. Although I think you've done it yourself, but anyways. Rockets are winning it all. Oh my God, dude. Rockets are like, they're one of the teams that like, I don't want to talk about the Rockets. I don't want to fucking talk about the Rockets, man. Rockets they tempt you with the Rockets. They always tempt you with the Rockets. And I've hit big. I think when the Rockets went on I think they won 4 out of 5 games or some shit. I won on all of them. However, and I made a lot of money. However, I bet on the Rockets way more than I fucking should. I bet on them yesterday against the Nets. When I knew I shouldn't have. But it's always so tempting because they're like plus 600, plus 700 all the fucking time. And if there's some numerical synchronicities, it's worth a shot. And I've definitely made way more money betting on the Rockets than I have lost money, even though I've lost way more of my bets betting on them than I've won. Because when you win so much more. So yeah, the Rockets, I have a love-hate relationship with the Rockets. But regular season's almost over, so yeah. Thank you, Toast. Yeah. Lestify probably thinks the Earth. Okay. Maybe Lestify is fucking Strickland's burner. Oh my God. Oh, I know you're Strickland's burner. Oh shit, that's who you are, dude. Yeah. Strickland's burner. Tell me, be honest, Lestify, be honest, Strickland's burner. How many LGBTQ, whatever the fuck you want to call it, how many of those discords are you in? How many? I know it's more than one. Black people are connected to the spiritual world, are more connected to the spiritual world. I wouldn't say that. Well, maybe they are though. I don't know. Maybe they are. Lestify is Nubby's 12-year-old friend. He looked at his channel and it's him playing Roblox in Minecraft with Nubby. Got to head out. Great seeing you, man. I'll look more into this. Really interesting. I don't know if you're still here, Eric, but glad you were here. Yeah, dude. I will post some Gematria videos in Discord. Lestify ain't no way you post in Minecraft. Yeah, that's just I haven't uploaded Roblox. Dude, this is what I mean. Like, it's crazy that I can insult someone fucking months ago, and they're still angry about it. Musical, Rigo, Polidori, Strickland's burner. Like, get over it. Or come to Cleveland and we can do the man dance, Strickland's burner. Since you're Strickland's burner, we can do the man dance. I'm fine with that. You are Jesse on fire before getting clean. Okay. Jesse on fire before pre-TRT. That's fair. Except I don't watch Jesse on fire literally ever. Lestify not denying he's Nubby's 12-year-old boyfriend. Thoughts on semen retention. Okay. So I try there's different. This is another rabbit hole, and I'm going to try to keep it brief because there's so much shit for me to talk about. But let's see. I think if you jerk off every day, you are doing yourself a massive disservice. I think there's an optimal window of sex or of let's just say just coming, whether it's sex or jerking off, doesn't matter. And let's call it 3 times a month or 4 times a month. Everyone's different too. For me, it's like 3 or 4 times a month. Actually, it's actually a lot more now. But it used to be 3 or 4 times a month. Anyways, if you go past that, you will see, you may not see, depending on how aware you are. But for me personally, when I jerk off too much, my meditation suffer, my gambling really suffers. My ability to talk to strangers in general suffers, but specifically my ability to talk to girls really suffers. and my happiness suffers. Like I'm just not as happy of a person. And this is with porn or without porn, sex, not sex, like any type of coming, any and all type of comings. When you do it too much, it's gonna have a negative effect on your body. That said, if you try semen, like I've tried semen retention, where it's the conscious act of pulling all that sexual energy. Like say you don't jerk off, have sex for like a week or two, and you just feel it, and it's like it's got to come up. You pull all that energy up in you. It's like an inward orgasm instead of an outward orgasm. I've done that multiple times, and there's a lot of benefits to it. But for me, there's a lot of negative side effects to that as well. So I ideally would love to go down that road, but I can't. I mean, I can, but what it does is it makes it so when I actually do come, it makes it feel like I'm coming daggers. And so, it feels weird going back up into my body. Like it just feels like it shouldn't be happening. Some people can do it just fine. For me, it's just not good. Why do I think the earth is round? I don't think the earth is round. I think the earth is a sphere because the earth is a fucking sphere. No, the earth is a sphere, Lessify, you fucking retard. So the basic structure from like the smallest little atoms to like, it's like everything in this world, not in this universe, from like the macro to the micro, it's all round. It's all sphere, man. It's all a fucking sphere. Why the fuck would the earth be any different? It's not. You didn't piss me off. I'm not trying to piss you off, but you didn't piss me off, and you are vindicated in your opinion of Musical, the soy loser. What happened between you and Musical, Rigo? Wait, did he kick you out? Rigo, whoa, hold on. I'm so far behind. I'm sorry. Rigo, if you're still here, did he kick you out of Jerusalem? I kind of want to know. But Musical, I think it's funny that like we got no Lessified, the earth is a sphere. It's not round. Round is this. A sphere is a ball. It's a ball. But thoughts on Rigo being on Hunter Biden's laptop. Okay, yeah, dude. This is literally the same. Dude, I know you're Strickland's burner or Sneck or like one of the people that like I got the last laugh in because I'm way better at shitting on people than you are. So you're talking like yeah. You're not you like say something funny, man. Like, dude, talk about my giant nose or some shit. This is a Jerusalem fucking thing. Like, be fucking funny, dude. Be fucking funny. Like, where's Gabrielle? Handsome man. Okay, thank you. You are so true about Musical. Can you explain the Musical stuff? Why does everyone hate? I don't know why people hate him. I have no idea. I have not been involved in any of this shit. I have no fucking clue. Ask Rigo. Rigo's saying something. What the fuck? Some people, oh my God, I don't understand. I don't care what Rigo's saying. Like, I don't care. Nope on the mac and cheese, and I'm still listening regardless of what I said. Wait, listening to, well, I don't think you're here anymore, Eric, but I'm so far behind. So I've been getting dice lately from those feeder workouts. Oh, Pat Barry, yes. Dude, I honestly, like, for me, I do the feeder workouts. I didn't do them yesterday because I did an actual workout yesterday. And sometimes when I work out in the day, I will do a feeder at night, and then sometimes I won't. It just depends on how sore I feel. And yesterday was a really heavy one, so I just said fuck it, like I won't do it. But I will be doing it today. So I look a little bit, even though I did work out hard yesterday, I didn't do feeders yesterday, and it does have a slight effect. So tomorrow I'm going to look not way more, but like, let's call it 5% more jacked than I look right now. Who the hell is Rigo, Musical, or Nubby? You know who all those people are, Lestify. Like, you're the dumbest. You're the worst liar. I know you're Burner or Polidori or someone else I pissed off. Like, very obvious. Gematria, that's Jewish voodoo. Yes. Yes and no. Yes and no, Trevor Johnson. Yes and no. I believe they were the first ones to discover it, but it is not inherently Jewish. They just discovered it. It is not inherently Jewish. Misfits boxing match, Sixsoul beats Musical down back. Dude, yes, I would literally kill Musical in a boxing match. He doesn't box. It would be like, this isn't me acting tough. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not acting tough. I would kill Musical in a boxing match, just like Musical would kill me in a jiu-jitsu match. I have a little jiu-jitsu, but like compared to Musical, I have no jiu-jitsu experience. He has no boxing experience. And he's 40 years old, dude. Like, there's no way he could take a shot from me. There's no fucking way in hell. And that's not me being tough. I say, like, it's not me being better than him. I am better than him, but not because I can box. Thoughts on Rigo's real brother, Ricky Berwick. Don't know who that is. Why don't YouTube people use most seasoning on day chicken? Look like Mr. Orange from Reservoir Dogs. Okay, I'll take it. Rockets are going to be insanely good next season, especially if they get Wembayama. The Rockets have a lot. Here's the thing about the Rockets, and I have to make this quick because I have so much to get through. They have a lot of talent on their team, but that talent doesn't mesh well at all. At fucking L. Well, like they actually play, like, in my opinion, they should have never traded for Kevin Porter Jr. Yes, they got him on a steal, but that man is a fucking toxin, dude. The Cavaliers got way better when they traded him. And it's because he was a fucking cancer to the locker room. Kevin Porter Jr. in a league of 85% black people was crying racism for a reason why he wasn't starting for Cleveland. Like, dude, the entire team is black, you fucking retard. Like you're not starting because you're not that good. Like, he's very skilled, but he's just so immature. He can be a really good player in the future, but my opinion, I don't think any team will be shit with that guy on the team. As long as he could grow up and shit, but yeah, like he's a cancer. Like, I think Houston does better when he's not playing, and then they have Sengun facilitating. I like the way that team looks better without him. MMA Joey merch just came in, and it's full of Boston crabs. Dude, there's a lot of fucking Rigo-based screen names. Rigo has beef with Musical. I don't even have this. Oh my god. Lestify, why are you here then? I did read your message, Rigo. Let's see. I don't know who Musical. Yes, you do. Oh my god, dude. Do I like sandwiches? Yeah. Let's see. What means bozo? Real question. What is a bozo? Clown? You don't seem like a happy person. Find God. Okay. I literally find. First off, none of us in chat have found God. Like, that is my goal, actually, is to literally find God. It's like, what actually finding God is not what people, not born again Christians or people saying they found Jesus or whatever. No, actually finding God, truly finding God. There's only one way you found God, and that's when you enter the breathless state, samadhi, or nirvikalpa samadhi, and that requires years and years and years and years of meditation. Most of the time, some people can do it naturally, depending on their karma, but yeah, like, I have not found it yet, and I'm trying to, but I promise you I'm a hell of a lot closer than you are. Bro, you're so wrong on the earth. Okay. I left Jerusalem Discord months ago. You did? He accused me of doxing Guru because I don't ban Washington for making jokes about Sixsoul. Are you serious? Are you serious, Rigo? Okay. Yeah, Rigo. Okay. Rigo, he accused me. Like, first off, the only people who have doxed Guru, it's funny. Musical loves to shit on people for doxing Guru. The only people who have doxed Guru is Musical and Ilya. It was Mark Calzone, that guy, Ilya, and I'm not shitting on them for doing this. I was for it, and I still am for it. Guru's identity should be known. But Musical was the one who organized the entire fucking thing. The entire fucking thing. He doxed him. No one else did. If I say his name on stream, that's not doxing. That's not doxing, because I'm not giving his address. I'm not giving. I'm only using information that he gave me. You know what I mean? Favorite drug, ketamine. Easy. Yeah, thank you, P Drunk. Ketamine, easy. Who are you picking for Jorge Dorina? Okay, Gilbert. I'm going Gilbert Burns. However, I don't think he should. He started at like a minus 250 underdog, which is like, that's like exactly where I put him. Minus 200, minus 250. I think he wins. And I think he wins relatively easy. But if he, hypothetically, if he never gets Jorge down, like, he's probably going to get pieced up, dude. Like, people really underestimate how slick and how good Jorge is on the feet. And especially since Leon beat Kamaru, Jorge's he's gonna be motivated. And in his delusional mind, he thinks he's gonna get a title shot if he beats Dorino. He's not. Colby's gonna get it. And mark my fucking words, Colby's gonna beat Leon 100%. The second those lines drop, that fight's announced, those lines drop, I am hammering the fuck out of Colby Covington. I said this was gonna happen months ago. I said this was gonna happen. And it's all happening the way I said. I said, you can look back on one of my last streams. I think it was like the New Year's Day stream. Nubby asked me. He said, who's gonna be champion at the end of the year of all the divisions? And I said Jon Jones. This is before we knew he was coming back. I said Jon Jones if he's coming back. I said Jon Jones, Magomed Ankalaev. I said Robert Whittaker and Colby Covington, Islam Makhachev, Alex Volkanovski, and then I don't remember the rest. But anyway, like, I was and I knew, even though I was saying Whittaker and Colby, like, yeah, I love those. Like, those are two of my favorite fighters. Like, both in the cage and outside the cage. I really like both those guys. I knew when I was saying it, they weren't homer picks. In my heart and my soul, I could feel it. No, these guys really do have a really good fucking chance of winning. And I really think Pereira beats Izzy. And then Whittaker beats Pereira. I really do think so. And Colby beats Leon. And I think I'm going to get those predictions right. Ricky Berwick and Tiny Texas collab. Oh, Berwick is okay. Yeah, he's like that old guy, right? Where's Boleen? Good question. I don't know. I have not talked to that guy in a while. If you catch MMA Joey in the streets, would you Kenkel pick him? Would I Kenkel pick him? That would be tough. I don't even think I could wrap my body around one of his legs to even pull that maneuver off. Like with jiu-jitsu, if someone is too big, jiu-jitsu doesn't work. That's what they don't tell you about jiu-jitsu, is that other than like rear nakeds and shit, like, there's so many chokes and there's so many submissions that don't work if you're significantly smaller than the other person. You can be smaller, but only by a certain amount. If you're like 100 pounds smaller, it doesn't work. For a lot, not all submissions, but a lot of submissions. And yeah, I just don't see how I could do that. Like, he's 500 pounds, literally. He's literally over 3 times heavier than I am. How am I going to submit that guy? The only way I could submit him is if I throw a hot dog on the ground, and then as he's bending over, I wouldn't go for a joint manipulation. Yeah, it'd be too hard. It'd be way too hard. What if God was one of us? Yep, maybe. Maybe it's you, P Drunk. God is everywhere. It is in nature. We have as well a part of it. What do you think? Yeah, God. Okay, God literally is everywhere. But like, because this is the way I look at it. There's a lot of dimensions. There's a lot of fucking dimensions in this universe or the multiverse, whatever you want to call it. And we only exist in 4 dimensions. And allegedly there's up to like 14 and shit. So I feel like the further down in dimensions you go, the further away from God you are. Like when you're at God, you're dimensionless. There is no dimensions. It's just pure whatever you want to call it. Like, there really isn't a word for what it is. Some people go like a radiating peace or joy or love or bliss. They're all same thing. But but as you descend down into the more physical realms, you're getting further and further away from God, and so I think in all of existence, no matter what, there's going to be God is going to be everywhere. It's going to be all pervasive. God is everything and is in everyone. I agree with that 100%. But in this physical dimension, it is really hard to 100% experience them. You can get glimpses. I believe most, if not all, spiritual people have at least gotten glimpses of what God is like. I get it almost on a daily basis. You know, the meditation, some meditations are roller coasters. If you want to start, if any of you want to start meditating, you're not meditating and you want to start, just know like the most important concept is that it's if you start off and you see some progress, don't just expect that progress is going to be linear. It's going to be like getting better at basketball or getting better at sport or getting better at boxing or whatever. It's good, like it's going to be up and down. And sometimes you're going to be on your game and sometimes it's going to be absolute shit. The important thing is not get down on yourself when it's absolute shit and not get too high on yourself when it's amazing. It's all about the aggregate. It's all about being consistent. And if you're consistent, the trajectory will go in a straight line. It's just on a daily basis, it's going to go up, down, up, down, up, down. So some days I feel like I get pretty damn close to God, and other days I'm nowhere fucking near it. I do think we as humans make it a lot harder than it has to be, but we're conditioned that way. So yeah, what's up, Billy? How's it going, buddy? What is in Iowa that you can go to? Nothing real. Like that's what I like about it. Like nothing. There's fucking nothing in Iowa. That's what I like. It's just beautiful. Like this specific area in Iowa. Just YouTube Iowa Great Lakes. It looks like the type of place that I would enjoy. My trepidations in going in Iowa is A, it's hotter in the summer, and B, it's colder in the winter. Like I like it cold. Don't get me wrong, I like it cold, but like Ohio is it's a good winter. It rarely gets really cold. Like it did. Like you guys saw my streams not that long ago when I was like. When it was so windy and so cold that my apartment inside here was like 50 degrees. But that's so rare. Like if that happened it wouldn't be fun living in that. And like Iowa can get really fucking cold, say in Minnesota and the Dakotas and shit. So that's like a reason why I might not want to, but I care way more about the heat. Iowa gets way hotter and I just hate the fucking heat. And that's what's so alluring about Flagstaff is that even in the summer highs are basically the same as Cleveland, but the summer lows are like 15 degrees cooler. Like that is huge, fucking huge. Not having to sleep with the air on is like, that sounds like fucking heaven to me. Just not having to sleep with the air on. Ever tried nutmeg? Eating a whole thing? I have not. I know someone who has. But I never did it myself. Although I might. So my weed dealer, 2 weeks ago, I texted him to get some weed. And he's all out of weed, which is strange. That's a strange thing for a weed dealer to be completely out of weed. But he had wax. So I got a gram of wax. I'm running low on it. So I texted him today so if I can get more, either more wax or more weed. And he's blocked all numbers. It's not he didn't block me, like me and him are on good terms, but he just blocked all numbers. So when I got that wax, he said it was his last one. And the fact that I assumed when he said it was his last one and he said he was all out of weed, I assumed I would hear from him in the next few days because I always hear from him when he gets a new shipment in and he'll show me like a fucking menu of all the crazy shit he has and everything. So I assumed within a few days because I was like getting the last of his shit. But he might have just gone out of business. He might have just fucking stopped. Wish he would have fucking told me that beforehand. But why am I talking about this? Oh yeah, so I have enough wax to probably get me through another couple days. But after that, I'm gonna have to. No, I would snort cayenne for the fucking high before I eat nutmeg. Guru-san, why are you for it? What? Can you go into detail for the main event into the psychology? I'm trying to convince my friend to change picks. Okay. The psychology of Izzy and Pereira. Well, first off, just right off the bat, Izzy has lost to this guy 3 times. Right off the bat, Pereira has that advantage. Secondly, every single person that Izzy has faced and beat in MMA, he was longer and stronger and quicker than. He had physical advantages. When he moved up to light heavyweight to face Jan, he didn't have those advantages anymore, and he lost. And now, somehow, some way, a full-fledged heavyweight, like an average-sized heavyweight in Alex Pereira, somehow is able to cut to 185, and Izzy has none, absolutely none of his physical advantages. So psychologically, that's gotta fuck with him. Like every time he's ever lost, it's because he didn't have his physical advantages. So that alone has gotta fuck with him. Also, just Google or YouTube all the times Alex has trolled Izzy over the past few months, and look at Izzy's reactions to it. Like he literally said, "Who do you think you are?" He literally said that. He's like, "Who do you think you are?" Or something like that. It's like, he's the guy who beat you 3 times. He's the guy who fucking knocked you clean out once and was gonna knock you clean out last time. You got saved by the ref. And I was right with Leon. I thought Leon was gonna win a decision. I got that. I called that right. I'm pretty fucking confident. Less confident than I was with Leon winning decision, but still very, very confident that Alex wins by devastating KO. I really think he finishes him. I can see Izzy twitching on the canvas, and maybe I'm just seeing what I saw in the past when Pereira knocked him out, and like I see that in my mind. But Pereira, and not only, and here's another psychological advantage that I think no one will talk about. I doubt anyone will talk about, but this is what I see when I analyze Izzy Adesanya and I analyze Alex Pereira as human beings. Izzy seems like a godless human being to me. I don't know. I have no idea if he's Christian or he has some native religion or whatever. I have no idea. But I do know, I can tell just in the way he acts, that spirituality is not a massive part in his life. It's just not. Pereira, on the other hand, he's a Brazilian Muslim. Like, that should tell you all you need to fucking know. Brazilians are like 99.9% Christian or Catholic. Like that's all they are. So for anyone to deviate off that path at all, period, in Brazil, they have to be a special human being. And nothing gets to Alex because he's so firmly just locked in his spirituality, and also he's just so comfortable in his body. Nothing phases. He's so stoic. He does not give a fuck. Whereas I guarantee you, Izzy is going to bed every single night. He's thinking about this fight. He's thinking about, how am I finally going to beat Alex? How am I finally going to do this? How am I going to finally do this? How am I going to avoid that crazy left hook? How am I going to avoid an inevitable flying knee that's going to come my way? Alex Pereira is sleeping like a fucking baby. I would be my guess. The only reason why he wouldn't be would because of weight cutting purposes, because he cuts a fuckload of weight. I just think if you think Izzy wins, that's fine. You can have that opinion. Izzy is very technical and he is very skilled. Way more skilled. Like, Kamaru Usman fucking sucks, dude. Kamaru Usman fucking sucks. I've always said that. Izzy doesn't suck. Izzy is legitimately good. But it's just a fucking nightmare matchup for him, man. It's just absolute nightmare matchup. Yeah, man. If your friend is thinking about if it's just Tapology or whatever, who cares? But if he's actually betting on Izzy, like beg him, be like, please do not do this. Like, I'm telling you, do not do this. And maybe mention to him some Gematria stuff too, because all the Gematria is on Alex's side for sure. That's like another way you can approach it. But except there's like 4 or 5 main columns of possible advantages you could have. Alex has every single one. Every single one. I am really looking forward to this press conference because I know it's just going to be Izzy having a breakdown. Like Izzy's entire childhood and his entire life since then has been like trying to be the cool person, trying to be the guy that people think is cool and people look up to and shit. And like he is not that in this dynamic. He is not the cool one. Alex Pereira is the cool one, and he eats at him. And like no matter what he does, no matter how many I'll leave you frozen like Elsa's he throws out, he's never going to be the cool one. And that's his psychological downfall. He cares way too much what people think about him. He's not anchored spiritually. He's anchored physically. And I've never been in an actual MMA fight, so it's hard to say. But in my limited combat sport experience, like you want your mind as clear as possible. You don't like if you care about what other people think about you, you're already done. I tried getting the MMA Joey stream once and he banned me. Yeah, same here. Same here. He banned me for one hot dog emoji. I didn't say anything. A hot dog emoji banned. Hey, Musical banned me for literally nothing. So like at least MMA Joey actually banned me for something. Musical banned me for nothing, for literally nothing. So on that level, like MMA Joey's here, Musical's here. In terms of hilarity and stuff, yeah, Musical's way better. In terms of like quality of content, yeah, Musical's way better. Heaven is a state of mind. Yes, I would agree with that. If you can reach it. The Native Americans had an interesting religion. Well, you can't really just say the Native Americans because there were so many different tribes and they all kind of had like their own take and things. But yeah, they lived near the land and like they had like there's stuff with like vision quests and peyote and like and psychedelics and shit. Like I'm all for that. As long as it's not crazy. I know way too many people that have just gone down that rabbit hole too much. I think psychedelics are wonderful and they're great, but they're a medicine and they're a gift, and you don't abuse it. Like you should not do them that often. Like I said, I have fucking ounces and ounces and ounces of shrooms. I haven't touched them since August, and I haven't really wanted to, like, because I just haven't. Like, there's no need to. Natives are all drunks. I had one trying to break into my car last week. I wouldn't say they all are, but a lot of them are these days. It depends on where you are too. Like different tribes had different deals with the United States government. So if you're in a tribe that got a good deal with the government, those natives are really well off, and most of them don't really have any issues at all because they're fucking loaded for doing nothing at all. And then there's other ones that are poor as fuck, that don't have anything at all. And they feel like America has fucked them. And like from that perspective, I would agree, but at the same time, like they do totally have the ability to unfuck themselves. But it depends. So I think it depends on the tribe and how they did business with the United States government. Because the Pechanga Indian tribe, fuck that tribe. They're doing way too well. Like that changed the course of my entire life. Because those motherfuckers make way too much fucking money. And I went on that before. I'm not talking about that here. Do you think AI is going to kill everyone Terminator style? It's a possibility. Dude, AI has been fucking... Dude, the last few months in AI... Have you guys seen... I missed a $5 donut? Wait, did I? I don't... Wait, did I? On what? On what? I'm not getting anything. I'm not seeing anything. No one in particular. What did you send it on, if that's true? But anyways, have you guys seen the AI? I only saw the preview. You got to actually pay for the whole thing. It's like an hour long. It's an hour long stand-up special of an AI Tom Brady just doing an hour long stand-up special. And it was an AI that watched all of Tom Brady's interviews and watched hundreds of hours of stand-up comedy and just blended the two. You can look at it right now. It's like Dudesy, I think it's called. Just type in Tom Brady, Dudesy, Tom Brady AI, and you can listen to the first 10 minutes. And because it's an AI thing, it's not like there's no audience or whatever. So it's just joke, 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 joke. And these jokes are fucking good, man. Like you will laugh your ass off at some of these things. Like really, really fucking good. So AI is going to be replacing most people. Like AI is already funnier than people. It's already more artistic than people. It's already more talented than people. To be honest, I'm surprised that it hasn't already replaced people's jobs. My best friend is a graphic designer, and I was talking to him about AI, and it's like, aren't you worried that like your job is going to be obsolete? Like it literally could be obsolete right now. If certain corporations decided it to be, like it literally could be. And he's like, no, because there's always, because the interface, the human interfacing with the AI can always create something better than the AI itself. That was his take on it. And in my opinion, I could say maybe that's true. In my opinion, I don't think that's true. But even if that is true, which I on a base level don't think that's true at all, especially when you consider where AI is now versus where it's going. Even if it is true today, it might not be true tomorrow. And it definitely won't be true 10 years from now. But I felt that even if that is true 10 years from now, what if say like, okay, you have AI you can get for free or basically free, or you can pay someone $100,000 a year to do the same thing, but 3% better. What are you going to do as a corporation? Even if it's better to have a human working with the AI, you have to pay that human $100,000 versus you don't have to pay an AI to have a fucking house over his head and clothes and food to eat and shit. Like, so no, I looked at him, I was like, no, dude, your job is going to be fucking obsolete in a few years. You should be thinking about this right now. But yeah, I'm surprised AI hasn't taken over already because it's done. I've seen some crazy fucking shit. Do I think Izzy will rage at the press conference? Yeah, I don't think he's going to be like that, but you're going to see him get really irked. Like definitely going to have a few lines in the chamber, like they'll leave you frozen like Elsa, something along those lines that's going to be equally as fucking like flat and stupid. I feel like he's going to make a complete ass of himself. That's what I feel like. And if he doesn't, good on him. Oh, there's a small part, like I said, there's a small part of me that really feels horrible for Izzy because I truly, truly believe he did not want this fight. After last fight, he said, I don't want the immediate rematch. He specifically said he didn't want it. And I thought that was a great move. I thought, fuck it. Like, why the fuck would you want that rematch, dude? Fuck that shit. Let Whitaker beat him, and then you can get your belt back. Like, that would be the easiest and most logical path back to the title if you're Izzy Adesanya. You don't go for the immediate rematch, get fucking knocked out again, and then you fall down the ladder a lot. Like that just doesn't make sense. But I feel like the UFC forced his hand there because this is not the good career move to make. Even if Izzy wins, and he can win, he has the skills to win. It's not impossible. This is not like Kamaru Leon, where I felt it was impossible for Kamaru to win. Leon won all 5 of those rounds. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Leon won all 5 of those rounds, and then the third round was a draw because he got taken from him. But he won 49-45. You cannot give any round to Kamaru Usman. And the people who gave rounds to Kamaru Usman score fights the old way, the old-fashioned way, where they count control time. The only reason why Kamaru won the first fight to begin with was because of that, because it was the old style of scoring. The new style of scoring, Leon wins first fight 29-28. Easy. Kamaru did nothing in that first fight. Literally nothing besides hold him down a little bit. And Leon was piecing him up on the feet. Second fight, Kamaru did better, but that's because there was that elevation. And he got knocked the fuck out. And then third fight, Leon won all 5 rounds. All fucking 5 rounds. I think the Izzy Pereira matchup is way, way closer than that. But even still, Pereira is a freak of fucking nature. Izzy might have a wrestling focused camp this time. Dude, Pat Barry, it doesn't matter. If Izzy has a wrestling focused camp, That will be the final nail in his coffin. He's not a wrestler. He didn't grow up wrestling. He doesn't have cardio to wrestle a bigger man. Like, he doesn't have a cardio to wrestle a smaller man, let alone a bigger man. I think if Izzy focuses more on wrestling, it will be his downfall. I think that's the dumbest thing he can do. Like, his best chance is sticking and moving for 5 rounds. Like, just jab, get the fuck out of the way, jab, get the fuck out of the way. I'm not worried about Izzy's wrestling at all. I hope he worked on his wrestling, because I think that's the worst thing you could possibly do in this matchup. Like, he's not gonna do anything. He's not gonna be able to do anything to Pereira on the ground. Pereira's too big. He's just too big, and Izzy's not a wrestler. Like, you're not just gonna be able to have 2 or 3 months of wrestling, and then all of a sudden you're going to be able to fucking dominate someone who's also, he's been working on his wrestling non-stop with Glover, non-fucking stop. There's no way Izzy can do anything near what Glover can do. So yeah, I don't think that's a good strategy at all, man. I don't think that's a good strategy. Did you donate through the link in description? How's your punching power feeling today? Today specific, I haven't punched anything today, so feeling good. Some days it feels incredible. Other days it feels awful, and you can tell too. Like, and it's not just in my head. Sometimes I'm hitting the bag, and it's like the bag's moving way more than like guys bigger than me, and it's like there's a way you want to move. So I'm not going in there how do I explain this? There's a certain type of person that goes in to like a kickboxing or MMA gym, boxing gym, and all they're trying to do is hit the fucking pads or hit as hard as they can so they can see the thing swing as hard as they can. And like, that's not the way you're supposed to do it, period. That's like, you're not going to get better doing that. That being said, like when I'm on my game, the fucking bag moves way more than guys way bigger than me do. And I'm not trying to. That's the thing. Like, I'm trying to, but I'm not trying to, if that makes sense. I'm trying to hit the bag hard, obviously. I'm fucking working out, obviously. But I'm not going as hard as I fucking can. I'm not trying to make a scene, you know? I'm not trying to prove that I can hit harder than someone else. But when I said, when I compare myself, it's like, okay, I could fucking strike. But then other days it feels like it's not doing anything at all. But those days are less and less and less. I've been, it's probably been about the same lately, but my power level just keeps going up because I meditate every single day. And 10 minutes of every meditation is focused on my lower chakra. I'm just gathering that fucking lower energy, and it makes you hit harder. Like, that's the best way to describe it. It will give you more endurance, and it will make you hit harder. No technique involved. Have you ever heard of the Headless Valley? I have not. There's this place in West Canada where gold prospectors would always go to, and over the course of 2 decades, dozens of gold prospectors were beheaded. It's kind of ringing a bell. But I don't know. You were joking. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the no, John. MMA Joey applied for my 600-pound life, but there was only 2 spots available. How much do we think MMA Joey actually weighs? I'm assuming he's like 6'2". He looks like he's around 6'2", like roughly Guru's height. Let's say he's a solid 6'2". How much does MMA Joey weigh? Like 550? I had a friend in college who was literally 6'2", 550 pounds. And then and he lost all the weight, and he dropped down to 220 pounds. And I didn't see him for a long time. I saw him at the beginning of the weight loss journey. I didn't see him for 6 months or like a year or something. And I saw him again. I didn't recognize him. I was like, what the fuck? And the way he looked was very, very similar to the way MMA Joey looks. And he was 550 pounds. If anything, Joey might be even bigger. So Joey's in the 500 to 600 ballpark, I think. But he could be shorter or taller than we know. We don't really know. A malevolent AI with Neuralink in your head to interface with your brain could probably put you in a timeless hell or it's nonstop torture. True. Yeah, there ain't no fucking way I'm neurolinking anything in my brain. I am not doing anything like that. I'm just not. And if you are planning on it, like if you're on the opposite side, which is valid, my recommendation for people is if you're gonna link yourself up to AI, either be one of the first ones to do it or one of the last ones to do it. Don't be in the middle. Like you want to be one of the first ones. Like if you are full 100% pro AI, you want to be one of the first ones to do it because it's going to give you so much of an advantage over everyone else. You're going to have all that time. You're going to have what, like maybe a year or 2 years, 5 years before the rest of the population like catches on and like starts plugging in shit. And you're just going to have a massive advantage in whatever the hell you want to do with your life. Or if you're against AI, and I don't want to say I'm against AI, but I'm against AI. Like I am. I'm not against it on a philosophical point of view. I'm against it in a pragmatic point of view where it's moving too fast and we're already like not really able to control it, and we're really not going to be able to control it. It just doesn't seem like the smart thing to do for the future of humanity, at least the way it is now. So I'm on the other side, and I'm probably never going to do it, but if I do, I'd be one of the last ones to do it. But I just feel like all the powers people are going to gain when they link up with AI, I'm going to be able to gain those same powers not linking up with AI. Because I'm going to be able to tap into those people who are doing it. Like we're all connected. We're all fucking connected. All humans are connected to each other. There's a global consciousness of humans, and there's a global consciousness of cats and dogs and all these things. So when it's like the 100th monkey theory. The 100 monkeys, well, you guys know the 100 monkey theory. It's like a long time ago. The monkeys on this abandoned island, these monkeys would eat sweet potatoes, and they wouldn't eat the what's it called, the root, like the skin of it. They would like break it apart, and they'd only eat the inner part. And then they taught one of the monkeys, they taught to wash it. And then soon after, all the monkeys on the island started washing their sweet potatoes before eating it. And there's the crazy thing. Soon after that, monkeys all over the fucking world are now washing their food when they never did before. It's because there's a global monkey consciousness. There's everything's connected, and and all the species are connected to each other. So when a certain amount of humans are now connected with AI, like very sensitive, connected humans like myself are going to be able to sense that. So I feel like I'm going to be able to get a significant portion of the benefits they'll have anyways without all the negatives. So that's the main reason why I'm not going to do it. During those days, people will seek death, but will not find it. They will long to die, but death will elude them. That's exactly what it sounds like we're headed towards. That's definitely what it sounds like we're headed towards. Yeah, I don't know why you'd want to live forever. First off, if you believe in souls and spirits, and if you believe in any sort of religion or philosophy like that in any part of the world, one of the main fucking common factors is that that life doesn't end, it just keeps going. So I feel like the only people who would even want to pursue eternal life on Earth would be people who are just not religious, or people who are very vain. But either way, it just doesn't seem fucking worth it, man. I feel like I've been given a pretty good roll of the dice on Earth. I'm turning 35, and I look like this. Pretty fucking good, if I do say so myself. I got a good brain on me. I'm very different than most people. I feel like in different situations, I have a lot to offer and a lot to give. And just the deck of cards that I got for this life was pretty good. Wasn't amazing. I could definitely be more jacked, but it's pretty good. And even still, a lot of times I'm just fuck, I just want this shit to be over. And I'm only 34. Yeah, I can't imagine wanting everlasting life. That's crazy. Aljo or Henry? Henry Cejudo. I am definitely going Henry Cejudo. I think Aljo's good. I think people underrate Aljo because he lucked himself into a fucking title reign, not just a championship, but an actual title reign where he beat Jon, then beat Jon again, and then he beat TJ. We're like, on the surface, it's a fucking title reign, but you scratch the surface, you're like, is it really? So a lot of people underestimate him because of that, and I don't. I think Aljo legitimately is one of the best bantamweights in the world, for sure, like without question. He's definitely top 5. You can't argue that. But Henry is a nightmare matchup for him. I say that because he's not going to be able to take Henry down. He's just not going to be able to do it. And Henry's going to be so like Aljo is so goddamn good at taking your back and holding that position and either finishing you from there or just holding it. And he knows once he gets it, you're done. He's not. I don't see how he gets that position with Henry Cejudo unless he knocks him down on the feet. But like Henry's striking is good. And Aljo's striking is I don't know. I just think that's a bad matchup for Aljo. I am Henry all day. And just in terms of just mentality, I feel like Cejudo is way smarter, and I don't think Aljo's dumb at all. Aljo's pretty smart, but Cejudo, he's like, I kind of want to call him a genius when it comes to MMA coaching and MMA strategy. That guy is just so smart, and I just feel like he's going to have the perfect game plan. My only reservation in picking Henry over Aljo is he's been gone for how many years now? Like 3 years. So there could be ring rust, and if it takes him like 2 rounds to fucking get in the groove, and then he's already down 2 rounds, maybe he loses a decision or something, I could see that. But I don't see Aljo finishing Henry at all. I don't really see Henry finishing Aljo either. I think I see Henry winning by decision. I think it's going to be a close decision. But I'm gonna trust Henry's brain and his wrestling ability. I'm going to trust those 2 things. You're looking jacked and powerful. Thank you, buddy. Oh, I try. I've definitely gotten more jacked over the past few months with the feeder exercises and the cold plunges before working out now, and the what's it called? Tongat Ali. I don't remember where I was last time. I did a stream, so I'm going to talk about it again. Tongat Ali, it increases your testosterone like a lot. They recommend to take 4 of these pills every single day, and I was doing that for a while. And it was literally too much. Sometimes, this happens to me now. Now I take 2 pills 4 days a week. So instead of taking 28 pills a week, I take 8 pills a week. And it's near the same level of effectiveness. It's I'm taking the minimum amount to get the most amount of effect. Because when I was doing that much of it, first off, I was jerking off every day. Like I fucking had to. Like there's this feel, like you can feel your testicles producing testosterone. It's like a surge. And this still happens to me most every day, but it's like on a much smaller level. When I was taking 4 pills every day, I swear to God, taking steroids could not be that much crazier than doing this for my body. Everyone reacts to everything differently, but I am a hyper responder to Tongat Ali, that's for sure. So anyway, so I've cut that down to 8 pills a week instead of 8 pills every 2 days. And my testosterone is still it's still crazy. And it's still really hard for me to not jerk off. Like it used to be relatively easy for me to not jerk off. Like if I told myself I wasn't going to do it, I wasn't going to do it. But now it's not so easy. It's been like, I think it's been like 5 or 6 days. The testosterone boost is fucking dramatic with Tongat Ali. So anyone who wants to boost the testosterone, I highly recommend it. It's a cheap supplement. And you just get it online, I think for like $10. maybe you could take more than I do, but like, and maybe it won't have the same effect that it had on me, or maybe it'll have a greater effect. But I definitely attribute some of my muscle mass I've gained to Tongat Ali, some of it to cold plunges before workouts, and then some of it to feeder exercises. It's like that matrix of those three things, and rucking too. I would put rucking in there as well, because rucking, it makes you so much more stable of a human, if that makes sense. Like, I feel so much more like grounded now that I'm right now I'm rucking 35 pounds for 2 miles every week, every Monday. And I would be doing more. I want to do more weight. I really want to do more weight. Problem is my backpack's falling apart, like from all the weights. And if I add any more, it's just going to completely rip apart. I literally went to multiple places, multiple thrift stores, looking for a heavy duty backpack, and they've had none. Fucking none. So as soon as I'm able to get a backpack that can hold more weight, I'm going to do more weight. But I feel like rucking has made me just overall stronger in general, and because of that strength, I'm able to put on a little bit more muscle mass easier, I think. So it's probably those 4 things. You got that dense power. I have that spiritual power. I have the Anderson Silva power. That's what I have. He had it. I'm sure he had it way more than I do, for sure. A, he was bigger. B, when he meditated, he only focused on his bottom chakra. He didn't even bother with his other ones, because that was his vocation. That was his goal. That's what his job was. So hypothetically, if he was meditating the same amount of time that I was, he's got at least 3 to 6 times more physical energy than I do, because I do here, here, and here, and he was just doing there. But I have that type of power where you look at me and you're like, he's a guy, like he probably doesn't hit that hard. No, I hit fucking hard, dude. I hit hard. That's one, like, I'm not skilled. I am not skilled at all. And since I haven't been able to spar in months now, I think that skill has even gotten worse. What was I saying? But my ability to hit things hard, it only increases every day. How heavy is your bag? I believe they're 100 pounds. They're just so I just go into the gym and they just have rows. I think it's like 15 or 18 of them. I actually don't know how heavy they're. To be honest, I don't know specifically. I want to say it's heavy. These are giant fucking, coming from the ceiling, giant, extending almost all the way down. They feel like they're at least 100. They honestly feel like they're 200, but I'm not that big of a guy. So I would say at least 100, but I actually don't fucking know. I never asked. I'll ask next time. DJ is a small guy, though. Henry needs to roll with bigger people. I feel like DJ and Henry working together is like a match made in heaven, man. Like, those are 2 of the best MMA, like, as far as just MMA minds concerned, just the way they view the game. My Mount Rushmore is Demetrius Johnson, Henry Cejudo, George St. Pierre, and Jon Jones. And it's and everyone else is far, far below them. Like, those 4, all 4 of them, I was absolute genius the way they approach the game, and they have their own unique styles and their own unique ways of approaching it. I personally like Jon Jones is the best. I think he's the most complete because he's the most evil. he's just the most he's the most willing to do whatever the fuck it takes to win, no matter what. And that trait is just, it's so invaluable, man. Like, GSP does not have that trait at all. DJ doesn't have that trait at all. Cejudo has it a little bit, but not anywhere close to Jon Jones. So I think Jones has all the mental advantages that the other 3 guys have, but he's also a literal killer. I truly believe that. I think if Jon Jones wasn't well off, if he didn't have notoriety, if he wasn't fucking John fucking Bones Jones, there's a damn good chance that guy is a fucking serial killer. And I I don't say that disparaging him. I don't say that negatively at all. He's one of my favorite fighters, period. And he's one of my favorite just mental studies of any people in MMA. He's just such an interesting person to me. But I would never want to meet that motherfucker in real life. I wouldn't trust that guy at all. I do genuinely worry about what's going to happen to Jon Jones after his career is over. So I really, for my own personal benefit, I hope he has a really long heavyweight career because I love watching him fight. And for his benefit, I hope he has a really long career so he can get more years under his belt, so he can just keep getting a little bit more mature, a little bit more mature, a little bit mature. So by the time he finally retires, hopefully he doesn't end up murdering everyone. Like, just hopefully. I don't want to see that happen, but I just feel like there's a decent chance that happens. Yeah, the fact that DJ and Cejudo and Jones train together and like their minds come together, like that can only help them. Like even if Jones can't roll around with DJ and shit, like even though they can't do anything physical with each other, and Henry and shit, like just the meeting of the minds, like these, like I said, the Mount Rushmore, the smartest of the smart people in MMA, all just hanging out with each other. That's gonna massively increase all of their skills, in my opinion. 350, 320, 390, 35. Wait, what are we talking about? We're talking about MMA Joey. Oh shit, really? I think he's at least 500, man. Like I said, my friend looked like that, who was 6'2", he was 550. He looked almost exactly like MMA Joey. Gunpowder isn't bad by itself. When you bring in humans, it's something else. Same with AI, it can be used control. I wouldn't say same with AI, because AI, I believe, anyway, I mean, I've heard this question asked to different people, and I've heard different responses, and some, like, this question is asked a lot because of just the way the world's going. They're like, can AI develop a soul? And in my mind, I'm thinking, of course it can. Literally anything can develop a soul. I think, as long as all you need for the only ingredients you need for a soul is to be living, some form of living, doesn't have to be on earth, but like some form of life, some life form of some sort, and self-reflection. And if you complete those two things, eventually a soul is going to emerge. So obviously, in my opinion, there's going to be AIs with soul. If not, there probably already is. So I don't really view AI as like a tool, like gunpowder, because gunpowder isn't self-reflective. It's technically alive. Like literally everything in this world is technically alive, but it isn't self-reflective. It doesn't have the capability to view itself as gunpowder. So there's like a limit. But AI can view itself as AI, as this human created consciousness. It has the capability to do that. So because of that, I think it completely changes the game. I'm a Chad. I'd try. I wouldn't really call myself a Chad, but I try. Is MMA Joey's final form a Chinese Bible? Yeah. Sarah Longo, our best coaches I heard. Sarah Longo, I can. Rigo, yes, we know you love Marab and his. Dude, Rigo. Okay. Rigo, I gotta ask you, because I know you love Marab. What do you think of Marab's it always seems like Marab is he's always with a bunch of women, but they're always ugly. Or they're always like, or some of them will be like okay, like passable, but it's like you're a top level UFC fighter. You might not be entertaining and maybe no one fucking likes you, but you're a top level MMA fighter. And he's not a bad looking guy for being all mountainy and shit. He's not that bad looking. Shouldn't he be like aim a little bit higher? You know, maybe he's at that point, like personally, or just in his ability to talk to females, he's at that point where he just can't get a lot of attractive girls, but like he can get a lot of ugly girls, so he just goes that way. But if I'm a Rob, I'm like it's way better to just get one attractive girl. That it's better to get 110 than 5'2s. That's what I'm gonna say. And Marab seems the other way. He seems to go the 5'2 route. And so, and I look at him like, dude, you can do better than this, Marab. You can definitely do better than this. Thoughts on Rigo playing Walt Jr. in Breaking Bad? I could definitely see it. I've never tried rucking. Would you suggest it? Oh, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Depending on how much you weigh, I don't weigh that much. So when I started, I only started a little after my birth. So like 6 months, less than 6 months ago, 5 months ago, I started. And I started at 18 pounds. And even that was probably too much for me, but I did it. And then the next time I did 20, and I've been slowly working up ever since. And I would probably be around 38 to 40 pounds right now if my backpack was able to hold the weight. But I recommend start low and don't do it every day. That's for sure. Like you want to give the tendons and the ligaments in your knees to get used to walking like a long distance with a lot of weight on yourself. And you want to give your traps, like my traps, I've never had traps in my life. Like I have traps now. Like look at that. I feel like guru now, but I literally have traps. I did not have that 6 months ago. Yeah, so I recommend start low, depending on like let's say if you weigh 150 pounds, then you could probably start at 18. I probably weigh close to 150 now. Maybe even more. I haven't weighed myself in years, so I don't know how much I weigh. But yeah, start at 18, 20, and then slowly work your way up. Like every couple times you go, just add another pound or add another 2 pounds. You don't ever want to add more than 2 pounds, because even though it doesn't sound like much, it's just these two little things, like literally fucking throw this shit super far. It doesn't feel like anything. It adds so much accumulative weight, because I always go 2 miles. That's my Goldilocks zone. 1 mile just isn't enough. Anything more than 2 miles, it's just too long, and I'm burning too many calories. And like that's like my goal is always to gain weight. So my workouts are never super long. They're always 40 minutes or less are generally my workouts. And 2 miles is generally 40 minutes exactly for me. So I recommend, so if your goals are like mine and you want to put on weights, 2 miles is beautiful. And yeah, start with like 15 to 20 pounds and slowly work your way up. And I was doing it like once every 5 days for a while, but that was cutting into my actual workouts. So now I just do it once a week. Once a week is the perfect amount of time to do it, I think. I love doing it after a cold plunge, man. It's really, really nice. It's really, really fucking nice. I get out, and then I change in my car, and I just put on like a sweatshirt and sweatpants and everything, and I just go for a ruck, and I feel amazing. Like it really allows you to appreciate nature. It's hard to describe, but when you have a fuckload of weight on your back and your traps are tired and shit, it brings you closer to your primal DNA. Like our ancestors were doing this shit for sure. All of our ancestors, doesn't matter what race or religion, or it doesn't matter where your ancestor came from. We all had to carry heavy shit from one place to another, unless we were like royalty and shit, you know. And it brings you closer to like your ancestors. And I always feel way closer to nature and way closer to my ancestors while I'm doing it. And yeah, I could not recommend it anymore. I can't imagine a world, or I can't imagine that I would ever stop doing it. It's super low impact. You're not going to get injured unless you're stupid about it and push yourself too far. It's like there's just no downsides. The only downside is that it sucks. That's the downside, is like halfway through and your traps are just fucking burning. You're having 35 pounds on your back, you're just like dying. The act itself is not fun. That's the downside. It's not a fun way to work out. Where there's way more fun ways to work out, but it's a relaxing, but challenging, but really nice way to work out. And it's added to my base of strength, like way better. And I stopped running for the most part. Well, I mean, last time I ran, I had to stop because, my lungs were fucked for days after because of the East Palestine shit. So I haven't done any running at all since then. But that was the first time I ran in months because Rucking replaced my running, and Rucking is just so much better for you than running, man. Like, some people can do running. Some people are built for running. They have the knees and the ligaments and the ankles that are conducive to running long distances and shit. I'm not one of those people. like this last run I did, like, I felt shitty for fucking days after. And I know a lot of it was the East Palestine shit, but a lot of it too was just my ankles and joints and shit. Like, it was just screaming at me like, dude, just fucking ruck. Like, it's hard. First off, it's harder. And second, and you're going to gain more strength. And like, it's just way less, a way smaller chance of getting injured. I've been doing it 5 months. I haven't had any injury at all. The most I had was when I first started, like, my ligaments, like the first month, I would say, when I started, my ligaments would feel like loose, like the day of and the day after sometimes when I did it. But that never happens anymore. I'm literally at double the weight that I was when I started, minus a pound. And that never happens anymore because I slowly worked my way up. So I feel like I could give anyone I feel like I could give MMA Joey a piggyback. That's how strong my back is. Like, I've always had trouble with my traps and my back, like, just gaining muscle, specifically in those areas. Like, I always just had a really shitty fucking soy ass back. But since I've been doing that, like, I don't want to say I'm proud of it. I'm proud of the progress I've made on my back. But I'm not proud of it yet. But I feel like I keep doing this for another 6 months to a year, I will actually be proud of my back. Like, because there's actually muscles back there now, and there never was before. And that's solely from the rucking. So yeah, I could not recommend it anymore. Boost T. Oh, it boosts your T a lot. Rucking, cold plunges and working out boosts your T even more. Cold plunging, then rucking boosts your T even more. Cold plunging, rucking, while you already took some Tongat Ali earlier that day, it's just like you're gonna literally feel it in your balls. It's a crazy feeling, but you will feel your balls producing testosterone, and it feels like you won't have a boner. It just feels like you're coming almost. It's a crazy fucking feeling. Watching Rigo live streams boost T. There isn't any bags in the gym near me. Wait, what? Like, I don't know how it would be compared to conventional work. There isn't any bags in the gym. What are you talking about? Confused. There isn't any bags. There's gotta be, I mean, depends on where you live, but there's gotta be a boxing gym somewhere. There's gotta be somewhere where you can hit something. Or like I really want a bag here. I don't. So if you don't have a bag, this is what I do. I'll show you what I do. Hold on a second. So I do this almost every single fucking UFC fight because I get fucking amped up. If you have nothing else to punch, just fucking punch your glove. Just like if that's all you can punch, do that. And also, I mean, I should probably. Oh no, I can't do that. That's gonna fuck it up. Damn it. But I also sometimes I want to work on my jabs. Like I want to work on punching through things. So I can't really show you right here, but just imagine this is the edge, like the corner of a wall or something. Like I'll punch the wall, but I'm punching the corner so I can punch through it. So that the wall is not getting the majority of the impact. I'm just feeling it. So I know how hard I hit it and shit, but I'm punching through it. That's something I do a lot too. But normally when I'm just watching UFC or I'm just at home and I'm bored and shit, I'm literally just throwing fucking hooks. I'm like, I don't know if you can fucking see through that, but just that I can tell I'm hitting hard today. I'm definitely hitting hard today. So that's what I would recommend if you have no bags, but hitting a bag, the act of hitting something solid, it's it does something to you structurally. Like it changes your structure. I've talked about this before. Two years ago, I picked up boxing literally maybe 2 years ago. The date, it's April now almost. It was 2 years ago in April. So almost 2 years exactly, I started. And when I started, I've said this before, I had the soyest, bitchest hands ever. If I just went like that, bruise, like a big bruise, and it would hurt like a motherfucker. And any tiny little, like just a knock like that, it would hurt. Like, because my body just wasn't dense. Because it's just all the years of just fucking, just not doing physical shit. Even though I worked out and shit, like there was no like impact. But 2 years straight of impact training, just punching shit for 2 straight years, nothing else, has not only changed like the composition of my fists, but it's changed the composition of my elbows and my shins and my, like the composition of my entire body. Like when you hit something hard, it like reverberates, and that reverberation, it sends shockwaves down your system, and it literally changes you. It really does. And hitting something solid, that's what really fucking changes you, I find. Hitting the bag as hard as you fucking can sometimes. Like that's how I don't, when I end my workouts, I'll usually go like 2 or 3 minutes and I'll go as hard as I fucking can, nonstop until I'm dead, until I'm like cramping and I can't do it anymore. I find I get more benefit out of that in terms of like amping up how hard I hit and like the structure of my body versus like anything else other than like meditation. Like those two things combined. It's crazy that more fighters don't meditate because it really fucking makes you hit hard. I think Jon would be on SEAL Team 6 with David Goggins. I can see. Jon isn't disciplined enough. I don't think he's disciplined enough to fucking be like David Goggins. I feel like Jon needs to let out steam. You know what I mean? Jon has got some inner demon. I relate. Once again, this is not me shitting on Jon Jones. I love Jon Jones. I love Jon Jones. That man needs to let off steam, and I relate on a lesser degree. I don't have the demons Jon Jones has, but I got some pretty dark ones. And some people just need to let off steam, and like Goggins isn't. I don't see him like gelling with that type of thing, but I could be wrong. Seems like he's going to retire after the Stipe fight. I don't think so. He left it up. He left it up for the air, but I don't think so, because if he really wants to go down as the best of all time and like cement it, he has to beat more than Stipe. Like first off, he's already the best of all time, but Volkanovski, if he keeps going the way he's going, he might be able to have a claim to it pretty soon. He legitimately might. But I feel like if Jones, he's gonna beat Stipe. I love Stipe. Stipe is one of my favorite heavyweights ever. Fucking love that guy. Brilliant, amazing ambassador to Cleveland. I wish everyone in Cleveland was like Stipe. But he's gonna get his ass kicked. He's got a much better chance than Cyril Gane. I got a feed Larry. Hold on. I'll take this with me. He's got a much better chance than Cyril Gane because he has a wrestling background. But he doesn't have the length, man. Like he doesn't have the physical attributes to hang with someone like Jon Jones for that long, in my opinion. So I feel like it's an easy win. And like, I know Stipe is the greatest heavyweight of all time, but he's old. He's like 40 years old almost now. I feel like if he beats Stipe and then he goes through like the winner of Blades and Pavlovich, and he goes through Tom Aspinall and like any other up and comer guy, like he goes through 2 or 3 more successive fights and he just destroys all of them. Then he's like the GOAT. Like then it's like he puts it out of reach. Whereas if he retires after Stipe, he's not really out of reach, and I think he wants it out of reach. I'm not sure though. Hold up, buddy. I'm sorry. Oh, here we go. Oh. There you go, little guy. Enjoy, Bobby. Enjoy, little guy. All right, so. But Stipe, okay, I think whether Stipe wins or loses, and I think he loses, I don't see Stipe fighting another time after Jon. I think Stipe has wanted the Jon Jones fight for a very long time. I don't know why all these delays have happened. I have no idea why, but he's getting it now. Like if Stipe beats Jon, there's literally like he would be retarded to not retire right then. He would be retarded. Like Stipe has to retire if he wins, in my opinion, if he cares about legacy, because he's not beating the up and comers. He's not beating Aspinall and Pavlovich. He's just not. I don't see it. With every day, he's getting older. You know, like this is his last fight. So I think Stipe retires regardless. And I pray to God that Jon Jones doesn't retire, and I don't think he will. I think he wants to prove that he can beat the Pavloviches and the Aspinalls and the guys who can legitimately maybe give him a problem, because Stipe and Cyril Gane are not those guys, you know? And hopefully they don't give him like Tuivasa or Lewis or like other guys who you know he can beat, or if Ngannou somehow comes back. I don't want to see that. Jones is gonna fucking murder Ngannou. Like that's not a challenge for him. I want to see Jon versus Aspinall. That's what I want to see. I think Aspinall's the one guy that could give him some issues because he's quicker, he's just as big, he's got really good grappling, he's good at, he's just good at fucking everywhere. He's the one guy that can match Jones everywhere, and he's the only guy that can match Jones everywhere. So Aspinall's the one I want to see. I think he runs through everyone else. Pavlovich is interesting, and Blades might be a little bit interesting, but I think he destroys Blades on the feet. I really think he destroys Blades. So hopefully Pavlovich wins that one. Let's see. Big ups, no one. Seems like let's see. Merab is a respectful player. He keeps his top women at home. Maybe that's it. Maybe he just doesn't want to show off. Oh, I don't think. Maybe he just likes slamming sixes. Well, here's the thing, Rigo. I'm sure you know this. Sixes do more things. That's one thing. That's one thing you can say about a 5 or a 6 that you can't say about most 10s, is that you can do a lot more things with a 5 or a 6, especially if you have status or looks, or if you got something. Okay, my phone is dying, so I'm gonna have to move. Hold on. I can't see shit. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. Hold on. Wait, what? Oh, Washington, what the hell? Why didn't you tell me, buddy? Washington, are you still here? Guys, Washington just gave me $10. Thank you so much. My brother. Thank you so much. I bet Merab probably just really likes anal or something. Thoughts on Rigo calling the MMA meme community? I don't have a thought on it. I haven't seen him. How is he calling? I still don't know what happened between Rigo and Musical. I think indirectly because of me, because this is one of my natural God-given gifts as a human, and it's not a good gift, but I am kind of proud of it. I am so good at pissing people off months after the altercation happens, and I'm fucking over it and shit. Like, I'm really, really good at picking out someone's weak spot, knowing that they don't want it to be talked about or anything, and then talking about it. God damn it. Okay. I'm gonna have to try to be still on this because my phone, every time it moves slightly, it's like it's on, it's off, it's on, it's off. Whatever. Anyways, I'm really, really, really good at shit talking, and not shit talking in general, but in cutting to the core. I have lost a lot of friends. Musical's not the first one, and he certainly won't be the last one that I've lost. Where we get in an argument, and I go straight to what they don't want to talk about. I go straight to it, and it's like I said, I'm not proud of it. I wish I didn't do it, but it is kind of like it always gives me a chuckle because like I'll be mad, but then I get over it. Like I just feel like no matter what the fuck you say to me, no matter what the fuck anyone says to me, like it's just words. You know what I mean? It's just words. I just called Musical a bad parent. And I didn't even call him a bad parent. I actually called him a good parent. I literally called him a good parent. I was just talking about one of his bad parenting, what do we call habits, we should say. Anyways, that's enough about Musical. Doesn't matter. Damn crazy what happened with that Ohio trained him. Oh my God, no. They were targeting the Amish. Was vaccinated? Yeah. Well, what was they weren't. There are a lot of Amish in the area, but in my opinion, they weren't targeting the Amish. They were targeting private farmers. First off, private farmers. That entire area, 90% private farmland. All fucked. All fucked. You can't eat anything grown from there anymore. Secondly, it's on the same exact latitude as New York City, just 6 miles west. Or 6 hours west. Like, I don't know how many miles. Like the entire state of Pennsylvania west of New York City. But all that stuff is going to go straight into the Northeast. Like I think about that. I thought about with Rigo, like Rigo, you're north of it. But I thought about if it maybe affects you. I thought about it with E-Money. I know he's in Massachusetts. It's had to affect him whether he realizes it or not. It blows from west to east where we are in America. And that's why I'm not seeing like crazy side effects from this shit. But I can't take a warm shower. I literally cannot take a warm fucking shower. And people in Louisville, people on the Mississippi River, they can't drink their water. They can't take showers.